the label: slow speech, delays gesture pointing, language development is delay, repetition, speaking single words, etc. This is enough to diagnose. But if you look at them, उनका digestion भी खराब है, उनका immune system भी खराब है, they get frequently sick, they cry a lot, they run around in the house all the time, they're not at ease in the body, they don't sleep well. Okay, there are so many other problems. जो भी आपके जो फंडामेंटल ब्रेन के इश्यूज हैं उसके बियॉन्ड कितने और सारे प्रॉब्लम्स हैं बच्चे में. ओके, तो आप सिर्फ उतना सा नैरो प्रिज्म से मत देखो उनको, उनका पूरा प्रॉब्लम को समझो, जानो और उसको ठीक करने की कोशिश करो, जिससे ये प्रॉब्लम भी चला जाएगा. Until you really work hard on the complete body, you cannot make this brain healthy. If this brain has to become healthy, the behaviors from this brain has to become healthy, the body also has to be healthy. You cannot simply make this brain healthy. That's not how this body works. Okay, so it's a neurological disorder where these communication, socialization, relation, etc., is the manifestation. Now, if something wrong in the brain, it is not, see, brain is a downstream. ब्रेन के ऊपर इफेक्ट सबसे बाद में आता है, पहले कहीं और इफेक्ट हुआ होगा, कहीं और डैमेज हुआ होगा, फिर ब्रेन को डैमेज हुआ होगा, फिर सिम्टम्स आया होगा. यू कैन नॉट गिव अ सिम्टम रिलीफ विदाउट फिक्सिंग द प्रॉब्लम. फॉर एग्जांपल, somebody has a fever. Fever can be because of viral infection, can be bacterial infection, can be fungal infection, can be parasitic infection, could be anything, could be stress on the body. Now, you cannot say that I have a fever, let me take paracetamol, everything is taken care. No. You need to find what is the reason behind the fever and fix that. Similarly, if child is having autism, you need to know why these symptoms are there in my child, depending on the severity. किसी बच्चे में प्रॉब्लम कम है, किसी में ज्यादा है, उसके हिसाब से उनका माइल्ड, मॉडरेट, सीवियर, हाई फंक्शनिंग अलग अलग डायग्नोसिस है. किसी को कम प्रॉब्लम, किसी को ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम, उनके अंडरलाइन प्रॉब्लम के कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग उनको मैनिफेस्टेशन है. वो बाहर की तरफ उनका बिहेवियर कम ज्यादा होता है उनके अंदर प्रॉब्लम से. सिमिलरली एडीएचडी. अब एक और चीज आपको जानने की है कि चाहे ऑटिज्म है, चाहे एडीएचडी है, चाहे एसडी, डिफरेंट नेम्स, दे डोंट हैपन इन आइसोलेशन. एपिलेप्सी भी होता है उनके साथ. 90% को जीआई डाइजेस्टिव हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम रहता है, स्लीप डिसऑर्डर है, फीडिंग डिसऑर्डर है, so many problems are there. एंशियस है, डिस्ट्रैक्टेड है, फोकस नहीं है, मल्टीपल इश्यूज. ओके, तो प्लीज स्टॉप just caring about their behaviors. Start worrying about them as a whole body. उनका पूरा हेल्थ कैसा है. अगर आप उस राइट डायरेक्शन में सोचेंगे, काम करेंगे, ये बिहेवियर भी ठीक होने लग जाएगा. लेकिन अगर ढंग से सोचेंगे नहीं, काम करेंगे नहीं, हो सकता है कि हम ईयर ऑन ईयर हम बस वही करते रहे. नाउ सब पेरेंट्स कह रहे थे कि उनके बच्चे को रिग्रेशन हुआ. दे हैड अ रिग्रेशन एट एज ऑफ 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, डिपेंड्स ऑन व्हेन द डैमेज इज डन एंड द चाइल्ड वेंट टू रिग्रेशन. बट दिस हार्डली any evidence to prove that is purely a genetic problem. Now, prevalence is increasing. Number of children suffering, ratio of children suffering from the problem is increasing. Genetics has not changed. Prevalence has increased. How come prevalence has increased if genetics has not changed? Then what else is the problem? So stop blaming the genes. This is very, very important for all of you to understand that it happens because of me or this and that, my family. Nothing, Baba. This is not at all can be considered as a purely genetic problem. There can be little single nucleotide polymorphism, little bit here and there, little methylation problem, little detoxification problem, etc., etc. But you cannot blame the full genetics because of that. Okay, so number of patients or children suffering are increasing, genetic remain constant. So where is the issue? As per Research Autism Institute, they call it whole body disorder. पूरा बॉडी को नुकसान हुआ किसी वजह से, जिसके चलते ब्रेन को भी नुकसान हुआ, जिसके चलते रिग्रेशन आ गया। होप यू आर एबल टू कनेक्ट द डॉट्स। कुछ किया, कुछ हुआ, जिसके चलते नुकसान हुआ बॉडी में, ब्रेन में, और रिग्रेशन हो गया। अब वो नुकसान को तो ठीक करना पड़ेगा ना। वॉट एवर डैमेज इज डन इन द बॉडी, यू हैव टू फिक्स दैट। इफ यू डोंट फिक्स दैट, हाउ डू यू एक्सपेक्ट टू रिकवर? Okay, just to give you an example again, one of the mother was saying that she has done antibiotics for some ear infection. Now, antibiotics, for a fact, we know that when you take antibiotic, you will grow more yeast infections, fungal infections. So your child was doing normal, some infection, you give an antibiotic, you might see regression. Your child was doing okay, you give a vaccination, you might see regression. Your child was doing okay, you have given so much screen time, you see regression. Your child was doing okay, child got separated from one parent because one parent has to go work somewhere else, went under stress, regression. तो वैसे बहुत सारे कारण हो सकते हैं, और दिस इज ऑलवेज अ मल्टीफैक्टोरियल, बहुत सारे मिला जुला के कारण हैं जिसके चलते एक बच्चे में रिग्रेशन आता है। तो जब तक कारण को नहीं ढूंढेंगे, उसको सॉल्व नहीं करेंगे, हम जितना भी कोशिश करते हैं, थोड़ा बहुत इंप्रूवमेंट आता है फॉर श्योर। वो एज के हिसाब से भी आ जाता है, जैसे जैसे बच्चा बड़ा होगा थोड़ा इंप्रूवमेंट वैसे ही आ जाता है। लेकिन मेजोरिटी में ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, जैसे जैसे वो एज बढ़ता रहेगा, प्रॉब्लम बढ़ भी जाता है। 9-10 साल का बच्चा, अगर आप अंडरलाइन प्रॉब्लम को ठीक नहीं करोगे, उनके इन्फेक्शंस को ठीक नहीं करोगे, उनके टॉक्सिन्स को ठीक नहीं करोगे, वो प्रॉब्लम बढ़ भी जाता है। तो थोड़ा बहुत अगर आपको पॉजिटिविटी दिख रहा है, विच इज ग्रेट, बट यू हैव टू बी केयरफुल, मे बी इट विल नॉट सस्टेन। तो ब्रेन इज अ डाउनस्ट्रीम, सीधा ब्रेन को इफेक्ट नहीं हुआ, ब्रेन को बाद में इफेक्ट हुआ, कहीं और डैमेज हुआ, फिर ब्रेन को डैमेज हुआ, फिर बच्चे में सिम्टम्स आया। So as the science is progressing, हमको भी नया आंसर मिलता है, हमको भी नई जानकारी मिलती है। We have been blaming genes, then we have been blaming mothers, when we have been saying कि therapy करो, therapy करो। But currently we know it's hardly genetics, more of epigenetics. More of epigenetics. Factors which can influence gene expression for health or unhealth. Okay? अगर अच्छे फैक्टर्स होंगे, अच्छे इन्वायरमेंटल ट्रिगर्स होंगे, हेल्थ होगा, खराब होंगे तो बीमारी आ जाएगा। तो आपको करना क्या है? इन्वायरमेंट को ठीक करना है, उनके अंदर ठीक करना है। 80 to 85% केसेस में रिग्रेशन होता है बिकॉज इन्वायरमेंटल फैक्टर्स आर नॉट राइट, बट दैट इज एपिजेनेटिक्स। तो मतलब ये कितने बड़े चांस हैं कि हम अपने बच्चे को अच्छा कर सकते हैं। 80 to 85% में कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं, हम उसको अच्छा कर सकते हैं। हाँ, ऐसा नहीं कि इजी पाथ है, ऐसा नहीं कि स्नैप ऑफ द फिंगर इट विल हैपन, इट विल बी अ टफ जर्नी, यू हैव टू पुट लॉट ऑफ एफर्ट। अगर आप विलिंग हैं, मेहनत करने के लिए रेडी हैं अपने बच्चे के लिए, यू कैन certainly come to the stage where your child is good, independent, functioning normal, बट उसको अटेन करने के लिए बहुत मेहनत लगता है, एफर्ट लगता है पेरेंट की तरफ से, बच्चे की तरफ से। वो अगर रेडी हैं तो इतना परसेंट बच्चों में तो हो ही जाएगा, उससे ज्यादा भी हो सकता है, इतने में तो हो ही जाएगा। नाउ ऑल ऑफ यू वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड, मेरे बच्चे को ऐसा हुआ, ऐसा हुआ, ऐसा हुआ, व्हाट इज द रीजन, व्हाट इज द रीजन? देयर इज नो वन आंसर, देयर इज नो वन आंसर, इट्स मल्टीफैक्टोरियल। बहुत सारी चीजें ठीक नहीं है उनके अंदर, बहुत सारी चीजें नहीं ठीक होने से उनका बिहेवियर मैनिफेस्टेशन होता है। ऑक्सीडेटिव स्ट्रेस, infections which is called dysbiosis, food intolerances, sensitivity, parasite infection, fungal infection, high histamine, low glutathione, toxic burden, genetics, vaccine, low vitamin D, mother has taken folic acid, mother was nutritionally deficit when she was pregnant, methylation problems, epigenetic problems. You see, ये तो मैंने कुछ चीजें यहाँ लिस्ट की हैं, इसके बियॉन्ड बहुत सारे फैक्ट। तो अगर आप एक बस यू वांट अ सिंगल पॉइंटेड आंसर कि मेरे बच्चे को ये रिग्रेशन हो गया, बताओ क्या आंसर है, ऐसा नहीं है। until we test them, we find them, उनके अंदर क्या तकलीफ है। it's difficult to give one pinpoint, but it's always a combination, it's a multifactorial। तो आपको समझना पड़ेगा कि एक कोई पिल नहीं बना, कोई दवाई नहीं बना कि वो ठीक हो जाएगा। अगर 10 प्रॉब्लम है, 10 के 10 ठीक करनी पड़ेंगी अपने बच्चे को अच्छा करने के लिए। ओके, सो विद दिस न्यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग यू हैव टू से इट्स अ मल्टी फेसेड डिसऑर्डर। मल्टी फेस डिसऑर्डर है, बहुत सारी चीजें ठीक नहीं है बॉडी के अंदर। इन्फ्लेमेशन है बॉडी में, ब्रेन में, स्टमक में, डिफिशियंसीज है, फूड एलर्जीज है, सिनोबायोटिक एक्सपोजर है, एक्यूमुलेशन है विच इज न्यूरोटॉक्सिक एंड इम्यूनोटॉक्सिक। बहुत सारा डैमेज चल रहा है बॉडी के अंदर, जिसके चलते ब्रेन हेल्दी नहीं, जिसके चलते सिम्टम्स हैं। अब सिम्टम को दबाने के लिए आप थेरेपी प्रेशराइज करते हो, नहीं रिपीट करो, करके दिखाओ, ऐसा करो वैसे करो। यू थिंक योर चाइल्ड इज डम व्हेन यू वांट टू डू अप्लाइड बिहेवियर थेरेपी ऑन देम? Why do we think that our child is, they're so smart, they're so smart, and we pressurize them to repeat, put a ball into another one, another one, another one. What are we trying to do with them? Just make them healthy. They'll be, growing like anybody or better than anybody. But what are we trying to do? We think there's some, brainless child, let me train them. They're not animals. A human beings, a very, very smart child. Very, you will realize as a mother, I'm sure, as a parent, you will realize your child is so smart. In some areas, they're just extremely smart, but in some areas, because of the underlying problem, they are, exhibiting some issues. But this does not mean that we don't treat them well. This does not mean that we pressurize them. Okay, so it's not per se behavior disorder. Behavior का problem नहीं है. Behavior is happening क्योंकि उनके अंदर कुछ तकलीफ है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, देर आर पीपल हु आर ऑलवेज हंग्री. You just want to eat, you just want to eat. Now, can we say it's a behavior problem? Something is wrong in the body. Very likely there are infections in the intestines which makes the person very hungry all the time. And because of that hunger, person cannot control his hunger, always eating, munching, eating, munching, eating, munching. Can we say it is behavior? It's not behavior. It is a problem in the body which is causing that behavior. Similarly, if child is hyper, child is fidgeting, child is showing tantrums, child is looking from the corner of the eye, whatever, there has to be a problem in the body. Okay? तो उसको ठीक करने के लिए प्रॉब्लम को ठीक करना है. Now, as the science is progressing, we are also realizing it's a mitochondrial disorder also. Mitochondria is an engine. Every cell has an engine, which is mitochondria, which produces energy. Every cell has 10,000s of mitochondria. Brain cell has the highest number of the mitochondria. सबसे metabolically active organ body का brain है, उसमें सबसे ज्यादा mitochondria है. अगर आपके बच्चे का पुअर ग्रोथ है, पुअर मसल टोन है, फिटीग है, एक्सरसाइज इंटॉलरेंस है, ऑलवेज टायर्ड, नॉट चूइंग swallow करना, चूइंग नहीं करना काफी कॉमन है. Abnormal movement, regression, social impairment, language impairment, depression, ADHD, seizure, etc. ये सारे साइंस ऑफ पुअर माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया फंक्शन है. और अगर आपके बच्चे का माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया अच्छे से काम नहीं कर रहा है, उसके पीछे का कारण को ढूंढ के सॉल्व करना, ना कि हम उनको प्रेशराइज करें कुछ करने के लिए. अगर मैं बोल नहीं पा रहा हूं किसी वजह से, अब जबरदस्ती मेरे से बुलवा लोगे क्या? So kindly, some of my words might be little, what you say, painful to parents, but my whole objective is we get on a right path. हम इस बीमारी को सही ढंग से देखने, सोचने लग जाएं और अपने बच्चे का फ्यूचर सिक्योर कर लेंगे. ये तो बड़ी तकलीफ की बात है, पेरेंट्स के लिए भी, बच्चे के लिए भी. So functional medicine is not about giving a new kind of a drug and a treatment. It's all about उस बॉडी के अंदर क्या तकलीफ है उसको ठीक करना है. कन्वेंशनली क्या होता है, बुखार है, बुखार की गोली दे दो. हम क्या करते हैं, बुखार के पीछे कारण क्या है उसको ठीक करेंगे. शुगर बढ़ गया, शुगर कम करने की गोली दे दो. लेकिन शुगर बढ़ा क्यों, है ना? सो वी नीड टू नो दैट. सबसे सिंपल सी बात है, my body, my cells, my brain is made of the food I eat. I feed well, my body will be healthy, brain will be healthy. If I don't feed well, मेरा ब्रेन सेल्स हेल्दी कैसे होगा? अगर वो हेल्दी नहीं तो हेल्दी फंक्शनिंग कैसे होगा? अगर हेल्दी ब्रेन फंक्शनिंग सेल नहीं है तो बिहेवियर में तो प्रॉब्लम आएगा ही. कॉग्निशन में तो आएगा ही, स्पीच में तो आएगा, मेरे ब्रेन का सेल ढंग से काम नहीं कर रहे हो, नॉर्मली फंक्शनिंग कैसे होगा? वेरी सिंपल। लेकिन हम वी फीड द वर्स्ट ऑफ द फूड, हम चॉकलेट भी खिलाएंगे, कैंडी भी खिलाएंगे, केक भी खिलाएंगे, समोसा, बर्गर, चॉकलेट, चिक्की, जो भी आएगा हमारे सामने हम खिलाएंगे, और हम सोचेंगे हमारा बच्चा ढंग से काम करना चाहिए, ढंग से बिहेवियर करना चाहिए। हम थेरेपी में लेके जाएंगे, हम कहेंगे ये करके दिखाओ, हम आपको कुरकुरे देंगे। कौन नहीं जानता है कि कुरकुरे खराब हैं? You don't know that kurkures are bad, and these in the therapy centers they're given fed with kurkures. What are we doing? What are we trying to do with them? So at least fix their diet. If you want their brain to function well, improve their diet. Very simple. Our body digestive system is designed in a way to extract the nutrition from the food and throw the waste out. अगर आपका बच्चा कॉन्स्टिपेटेड है, अगर आपका बच्चा ब्लोटेड है, अगर आपके बच्चे को पेट में तकलीफ है, मतलब क्या है कि वो जो खाना खा रहा है वो पचा नहीं रहा, खाना सड़ रहा है। उसका मतलब क्या है कि भाई खाने के साथ साथ न्यूट्रिशन, हो सके टॉक्सिन भी उनके खून में जा रहा हो, उनके ब्रेन को अफेक्ट कर रहा हो, जिससे उनका ब्रेन का बायोकेमिस्ट्री, उनके न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर्स बिगड़ जाते हैं, जिससे हाइपर एक्टिविटी, जिससे फिजिटिंग, जिससे पुअर कॉग्निशन, जिससे पुअर एनर्जी हो जाता है। तो अगर आपके बच्चे का स्टमक नहीं ठीक है, 90% केसेस में खराब होता है, 10 में ठीक है, नहीं होगा कोई बात नहीं, कुछ और प्रॉब्लम होगा। लेकिन अगर आपके बच्चे का स्टमक ठीक है, उसको ठीक कर लो। जैसे अपना ब्रेन अपने बॉडी को कंट्रोल करता है, अपने गट को कंट्रोल करता है, वैसा गट भी ब्रेन को कंट्रोल करता है। दैट इज अ गट ब्रेन एक्सेस। तो 90% केसेस में अगर उनका स्टमक अच्छा नहीं है, तो ब्रेन विल नॉट बी हेल्थी। Simple, right? Brain is not healthy, body will not be healthy. If gut is not healthy, brain cannot be healthy because it is controlling vice versa. बॉडी के दो फंडामेंटल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट ऑर्गन सिस्टम्स हैं, जीआई एंड एंडोक्राइन, हार्मोन्स एंड डाइजेस्टिव। अगर ये दोनों सिस्टम डिसरप्ट हो जाएं, एंटीबायोटिक्स, एसिड ब्लॉकर, ग्लूटेन, स्टीरॉइड्स, हाई शुगर डाइट्स, प्लास्टिक, पेस्टिसाइड, केमिकल्स, एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, बॉडी लोशंस, तो इतना पॉइजन हम अपने बॉडी को कर देंगे कि दोनों मेजर सिस्टम आर क्रैश्ड। तो ब्रेन अच्छे से काम कर पाएगा क्या? कितना मुश्किल है ये समझना। 80% ऑफ दिस बॉडी इज वाटर, 80% ऑफ दिस बॉडी इज वाटर। अगर आपके बच्चे का हाइड्रेशन अच्छे से नहीं है, अगर आपका बच्चा कम पानी पीते, ज्यादा पानी पीते हैं, कुछ बच्चे आपको लगेगा कि ये क्या बात हुआ, मेरा बच्चा ज्यादा पानी पी रहा है फिर भी हाइड्रेशन का प्रॉब्लम कैसे हुआ? वो ज्यादा पानी इसलिए पी रहा है क्योंकि वो हाइड्रेटेड नहीं है। अगर बच्चा हाइड्रेटेड होगा तो पानी एक्स्ट्रा नहीं पिएगा, अगर कम पी रहा है तो वैसी प्रॉब्लम है। पानी का क्वालिटी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। क्लीन इज इनफ, ओके, इट्स नॉट इनफ। क्लीन इज ओके बट नॉट इनफ। वाटर हैज टू बी स्ट्रक्चर्ड। पानी का एक स्पेसिफिक स्ट्रक्चर होता है, अगर वो मेंटेन रहेगा तो हाइड्रेशन होगा सेल लेवल पे और बॉडी बेहतर फंक्शन करेगा। ओके, नाउ दिस वर्चुअल ऑटिज्म बिजनेस, द चाइल्ड वाज डूइंग नॉर्मल, आपने कई कई घंटे उनको मोबाइल फोन दे दिया, एंड दे हैड अ रिग्रेशन। जब हम अपनी बॉडी को नॉन नेटिव इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक फील्ड, जो अर्थ की इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक फील्ड्स नहीं है, उसमें एक्सपोज करते हैं, वी ग्रो मोर इन्फेक्शंस इन द बॉडी, वी किल आवर माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया, and somebody can lose their speech, somebody can lose their skills. A 6-year-old child's body absorb more radio frequency from a cell tower, a mobile phone, a wireless device, then in the 20s. The child's body is not fully developed, उनका स्कल फुली डेवलप नहीं हुआ है, और हमने इतना बम्बार्ड कर दिया उनकी बॉडी को इतना रेडिएशन के साथ, और हमको लगता है कहां से प्रॉब्लम आ गया, किधर से मेरे बच्चे को प्रॉब्लम आ गया। हेवी मेटल्स, पेट्रोकेमिकल्स, फूड एज हेवी मेटल, लेड, मर्कुरी, आर्सेनिक, कैडमियम, बेरियम, स्ट्रोंटियम, यूरेनियम, थोरियम, कितने सारे अगर आप टेस्ट करते हो अपने बच्चे को, इतने सारे भर के उनके बॉडी में हेवी मेटल्स हैं, पेस्टिसाइड्स हैं, एंड वी एक्सपेक्ट देम टू बिहेव एंड फंक्शन नॉर्मली, इट्स नॉट हैपनिंग। तो भाई अगर जो कारण है उसको हटाएंगे नहीं, बॉडी ढंग से काम नहीं करेगा। थोड़ा स्पेसिफिक पे चले जाते हैं, स्पीच डिले, लैक ऑफ स्पीच क्या कारण है? lack of fatty acids, lack of B12, lack of B6, lack of B9, CoQ10, carnitine, magnesium, iron, butyrate, कितने सारे न्यूट्रिएंट का डेफिशिएंसी होने से भी स्पीच डिले, लैक ऑफ स्पीच हो सकता है। सोडियम टू पोटेशियम रेशियो अगर डिसरप्टेड है, कैल्शियम टू मैग्नीशियम रेशियो अगर डिसरप्टेड है, तब भी हो सकता है। मिथाइलेशन प्रॉब्लम से हो सकता है, कोलिन क्रेटिनिन डेफिशिएंसी से हो सकता है। यू सी, एक एक प्रॉब्लम, बिहेवियर, सिम्टम, साइन, कुछ भी उसको बोल लीजिए, उसके पीछे कोई कारण है। उस कारण को जानना है, समझना है, उसको सॉल्व करना है। लेकिन अब कई बार क्या होता है कि हम उस डायरेक्शन में जाते ही नहीं है, हम उस डायरेक्शन में जाते ही नहीं है, हम कहीं और ही चलते रहते हैं, तो हमारे बच्चे को डेवलपमेंट डिलेस, ग्रोथ, फाइन, सोशलाइजेशन, कम्युनिकेशन, कॉग्निशन एक्सेट्रा। क्या कारण है? फोलेट डेफिशिएंसी इन द हेड, मिनरल विटामिन डेफिशिएंसी, B1, B12, माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया, हाइपोथायराइडिज्म। कभी सोचा है हाइपोथायराइडिज्म, इफ T3 T4 आर लो, then also child can have cognition problems. Immune dysfunction, they frequently get sick, बार बार बुखार आता है उनको, 15 दिन के बाद बुखार आता है उनको, 1 महीने के बाद बुखार आता है उनको, क्योंकि उनका इम्यून सिस्टम कमजोर है, जिसके चलते और प्रॉब्लम्स हुई हैं बॉडी में। एंड इरिटेबिलिटी, अग्रेशन, मेल्टडाउन्स क्यों होता है? कॉन्स्टिपेशन से हो सकता है, माइग्रेन से हो सकता है, साइनस पेन से हो सकता है, पूरा दिन सिर में दर्द रहने से हो सकता है, डेंटल इश्यू से हो सकता है, ईयर इन्फेक्शन से हो सकता है, एंजाइटी हो सकता है, पैंस, पांडास, लो शुगर, लो ब्लड शुगर होने से भी अग्रेशन हो सकता है। अगर बच्चे के अंदर फंगल इन्फेक्शन है, फंगल इन्फेक्शन विल ईट अवे ऑल द शुगर, चाइल्ड विल गेट इनटू हाइपोग्लाइसीमिया and child will have irritability. Can you imagine? Your child, if you test your blood sugar of child, you might find that it is low. In some cases low, some cases because of metabolic dysfunction, it is becoming high also. Children are becoming diabetic because the mitochondria is not healthy. Metabolic function is deranged. Sensory processing, हम sensory issue बोल के छोड़ देते हैं उसको. When the toxic burden is high, that is sensory processing issue. Very high toxic burden, infection है, toxins है, जिसके चलते इतना तकलीफ है बच्चे को, साउंड में, साइट में, टेक्सचर में, फ्लेवर में, स्मेल में. They cannot process the inputs of the sensory, whatever sensory inputs are there, they cannot process it right because there's a lot of toxic burden on the body. तो उसको आप थेरेपी से शायद नहीं सॉल्व कर पाओगे, लेकिन अगर आपने उनको डिटॉक्स कर दिया, उनके इन्फेक्शंस को कंट्रोल कर दिया, they will get better. Okay, so lot of fungal overgrowth, lot of bacterial overgrowth, lot of streptococcus, Lyme infections, heavy metals in the body and the tissues. Toe walking is not a behavior. Toe walking happens because of high oxalates deposits under the feet. उनके अंदर बहुत सारा ऑक्सीडेट्स है जो डिपॉजिट ऑन द फीट, जिसके चलते पेन होता है उनको, इसलिए वो टॉ वॉकिंग करते हैं, नॉट इट इज अ बिहेवियर. तो if you have to fix toe walking, you have to remove oxalates. If you have to remove oxalates, the production of oxalate happening by the infection, उसको हटाना पड़ेगा. ओके, तो हर चीज के पीछे, हर बिहेवियर के पीछे कोई कारण छिपा हुआ है. ओके, uska self-stimulated. Lot of these children, they rub their penises, they itch on their vaginas and all that. We think, oh my God, what is my child doing? I'm so ashamed. My child is rubbing the penis all the time, rubbing on the bed. It's not that they're stimulating themselves. They have an itching problem. If you look at their organ, there is an infection on the organ because of that. There is itching feeling on, because of that the poor child is rubbing, and we think it is some bad behavior. Okay, please try to understand the reason behind it. उसके पीछे का कारण जानने समझने की कोशिश करिए, उसको सॉल्व करने की कोशिश करिए। हाँ, बहुत अच्छा कर पाएंगे अपने बच्चों के लिए। ओके। इनअटेंशन, आयरन डिफिशियंसी से भी इनअटेंशन हो जाता है, मैग्नीशियम डिफिशियंसी, विटामिन डी, जिंक, फोलेट, न्यूट्रिएंट डिफिशियंसी से अगर इनअटेंशन है, हम उसको जबरदस्ती नहीं नहीं अटेंशन करके दिखाओ, अटेंशन करके दिखाओ। अगर उनके अंदर कुछ कमी है उसको तो पूरा करो पहले, फिर बिहेवियर को फोर्सफुली करेक्ट करने की कोशिश। लेकिन बिहेवियर अगर किसी चीज से मैनिफेस्ट हो रहा है उसको ठीक करो। तो होप दिस गिव यू सम क्लैरिटी। ओके, सम क्लैरिटी। It's not a one pill solution that I give you another pill and all that. Okay. Whatever are the damaging things, the food, the environment, the toxins, the infections, the nutrient deficiency, जो भी आपके बच्चे में प्रॉब्लम है उसको जानना समझना टेस्ट करके उसको ठीक करना है। जर्नी लंबी है लेकिन हमको पता है रिजल्ट आएगा अगर हम कमिट होके उस काम को करना चाहेंगे। लेकिन अगर आपको कोई कहता है कि ये ठीक नहीं हो सकता है उन्होंने इतना एफर्ट नहीं डाला होगा जितना एफर्ट चाहिए उसको लेके। लेकिन अपने पास ऑप्शन है क्या? डू वी हैव अ बेटर ऑप्शन दैट आई डोंट फिक्स माय चाइल्ड्स प्रॉब्लम? आई नीड टू नो, आई नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, आई एम टेलिंग यू। Also, one more very very important aspect of this treatment, and you have to be very very committed, and you have to become a doctor for your child, which means you have to learn what needs to be done and you do start doing it by yourself. You don't rely on the external body all the time. आपको जानना समझना सीखना करना बहुत लंबी जर्नी। इट्स नॉट कि आप 2-10 दिन के लिए हॉस्पिटल लेके चले गए, वहां नर्सेस ने काम कर दिया, हो गया। घर पे ही सब कुछ करना है, घर पे ही उनको बेहतर नॉर्मल करना है और वो हो जाएगा। एटलीस्ट स्टॉप फीडिंग द बैड फूड, gluten, dairy, sugars, refined oils, processed foods, kurkure, chocolate. Please don't give them. This is bad for them. Sometimes people have gluten-free, dairy-free, but they still give them white rice. White rice is as bad as gluten. Okay? न्यूट्रिशियस फूड देना है, अच्छा क्वालिटी का न्यूट्रिशन डेंस फूड देना है उनको। तो एक बेसिक आपको डॉक्यूमेंट शेयर किया जाएगा जिसमें इंफॉर्मेशन आपको क्या देना क्या नहीं देना, विच इज गुड इनफ when it comes to diet. Structured water, सिंपल तरीका क्या है? कांच का बॉटल में पानी ले लीजिए, सन में रख दीजिए, this water will become energized. Infrared light will pass through the water, this water will become structured and energized. Okay, as simple as that. सन को यूज करिए अपने बच्चे को हाइड्रेट करने के लिए। Get them lot of sunlight. Sunlight has 45% of the sunlight is infrared light. Infrared light will improve metabolic factor. Infrared light will also improve neurogenesis, growth and development of nervous system. अगर आपको अच्छे ज्यादा सनलाइट में जाएगा तो उनका नर्वस सिस्टम में नया न्यूरॉन्स आएगा। Synaptogenesis, they will have more connections. When we learn new things, we build more connections. अगर आपको बच्चा सन में जाता है, they will build new neurons and synapses. Very simple. Okay, get them more sun. Stop exposing them to lot of these gadgets. Okay, they are damaging their body. You want to wait for another 10 years when we have a data research and all that coming up, but you and me know, you given a lot of screen and your child went into regression. You don't need any more research studies to come and prove it for you. You know that it happened to your child. Just become more aware. Grounding, connection to the earth. Let them be connected to the earth without chappal slippers. Let them be sitting, playing, walking on the earth. Their redox potential will improve. Their recovery will become better. Their repair, regeneration become better. Just being in touch with the earth. Very, very simple. Okay. Now, with these basics, food change, lifestyle change, infection control, detoxification, nourishment, grounding, avoiding EMF, hydration, 2 महीने में ये रिजल्ट्स है हमारे पास। 28% have improved speech and understanding. Sleep improved in 30%. Stimming improved, compulsive behavior improved, hyperactivity, sociability, stomach problems, motor problems, हर एरिया में आपको इंप्रूवमेंट दिखेगा. हम इस स्पेसिफिक को स्पीच के लिए कुछ नहीं कर रहे, मोटर के लिए कुछ नहीं कर रहे, हम सिर्फ उनको हेल्दी बना रहे हैं, उनको स्वस्थ रखने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. Okay, that's a fundamental demand by any human being or any living being on this earth कि उनको हेल्दी होना है पहले, फिर उनकी जो भी भगवान ने हमको abilities दी हैं, we should be able to make use of these abilities. If I'm healthy, if I'm not healthy, I'm losing them. Okay, so it's very, very simple, guys, and I hope this gives you hope and some sense of what needs to be done. Over to you, Ayush. Thank you.
Right. So we will talk about, we'll take up all the questions, don't worry. But we'll talk about, so what is it that you can do and how is it that we help? I hope I'm audible. Yes or no, I'm audible, visible? Can you please type in yes? Okay, great. All right, perfect. So basically what we are recommending, how you can take advantage of whatever we have to offer is by basically through your home itself. It doesn't matter which part of the country or the world you are from. Whichever part of the world you are from, you can take full advantage of what we have to offer. The first thing is, however, many of you ask us this question very often. How is it you would understand what is wrong with my child? How is it if it is online, how would you know what you need to do for my child? So there are three specific reasons why we have this digital program. A, we need to understand your child objectively. हमें objectively समझना है आपके बच्चे में क्या परेशानी है. वो बच्चे के behavior से नहीं आती है. That doesn't come from behavior of the child. That comes from what is wrong inside the body. So we take a detailed understanding. There is a long form that you fill in. There are 90 plus questions in it. You share all your tests and reports, all your details, all your videos, all your anecdotes. We understand all of this. We assimilate that information and we recommend you on certain tests. So we would be covering very shortly what those tests potentially would be. So basis those tests, which are also individualized and personalized, हर किसी के टेस्ट भी अलग अलग हो सकते हैं. तो जो आपके बच्चे की जरूरत है उस हिसाब से टेस्टिंग करके, डायग्नोसिस करके, उसकी बेसिस पे we come to know how your child's treatment strategy should be, and which is what we will be discussing. So the first point is we need to understand your child objectively. So we collect information objectively, understand. इसका एक example देता हूँ. So if there is hyperactivity, hyperactivity could come from a variety of different kinds of infections, many other things, and so on. If there are 10 different reasons for hyperactivity, and there are 3 different children with same kind of behavior in terms of hyperactivity, just by observing the child, how can a treatment be prepared? Treatment kaise banega? Same thing, same infection, let's say a fungal infection leading to one child throwing chair, another child running out of room, and so on. Different issues, different behavioral patterns. They do not help us map the exact reason why the child is troubled. So testing and history observation, etc., is the only way we can be objective in our assessment. So this is point number 1. We need to really understand your child. Second is, there is a lot of education required for parents. There are a lot of questions. You really need to do a lot of things in terms of changing the diet and lifestyle, वगैरह वगैरह. बहुत चीजें करने को हैं. So obviously, naturally, you require a lot of education. So education for an individual is almost impossible, the amount of information that you require. So that needs to happen in a group, and digital is the best way to execute it. And third, you learn from each other. So we do prepare a community for all the parents who do join us, along with all the medical staff and support and Dr. Ashwini and everyone. So because it takes a team to resolve a particular case, okay? Dr. Ashwini alone in his own capacity may not be sufficient. So there is a huge team required at Dr. Ashwini's behalf along with him. So that entire team takes care of you. and also the parents who are asking a bunch of questions on your behalf. तो एक पूछता है, you share care and gain for each other. So because of these three reasons, we have this program online only. There is no physical element to it. So if I have to describe the program, three elements. One is treatment, which is obviously completely personalized. It has nothing to do with group or this or that. Your child, your test, your supplements, your everything, your treatment methodologies, your internal healing techniques, all of this we'll discuss very shortly. So personalized treatment. Second, parental education, which I just now spoke of. And third element is community, which is highly useful in resolving these issues. Okay, so in terms of treatment, we call it a 4-pillar treatment. The first part is diet. Okay, so diet does not solve in itself anything, but diet is an important element. Diet alone is not sufficient to solve anything. Okay, but what we are trying to do is we are trying to prepare an environment in which the treatment can be successful. For that, so we'll be sharing that, Mamta. So for that, and it has to be customized in many aspects also. So there are dietitians also in the program which help you do that for your specific child. So diet is a strong element. Second is environmental changes. Some of the examples we have shared with you, such as the role water plays, or sunlight, or grounding, or radiation, all of these things play. Dozens of such things that we help you with during the program, so that your child can recover naturally to the extent possible. So environmental changes are also a strong element. Then third is intervention. So whatever we have found out as anomalous, जो कि normal से different है, just the way allopathy works. आपके test की basis पे whatever is anomalous, we understand that if there are infections, there could be a little bit of homeopathy or allopathy for a limited number of weeks. But mainly this is a treatment of supplements. So we understand what is high, what is low, what is present, what is absent, and accordingly, there are plant extract-based supplements which are suggested to you, which you can purchase online. We do not push you any products or anything. So all of this could be purchased online. तो वो सारी चीजें हम आपको guide करते हैं. So that is intervention. And fourth is internal healing techniques or internal therapies. Is this understood? Can I proceed? Yes or no? Can I proceed? All right, perfect. Now, in terms of internal healing techniques, there are three categories. Light and sound therapy is very simple. You would have heard for yourself also, alpha, beta waves and calming frequencies and all that. So that helps you in releasing the right kind of hormones and sometimes even enzymes, which help in hyperactivity and fidgetiness and focus and all of those issues. All right. So for your child, we help you understand what kinds of, you don't have to buy devices for it. We make it very, very simple for you. So this is one part that we help you with. These are all internal healing techniques. Second is microcurrent therapy, which helps you with certain stimulus and helps you in social and cognitive issues. Then there is quantum energy and scalar energy, which is internal healing techniques. So what this works very similar to how homeopathy works. So whatever advantages you potentially can get from homeopathy, you can get from this also. So it is helpful in unclogging a lot of different pathways and helps in a variety of broad spectrum issues. Overall healing ke liye. For none of this, you have to go outside or ask anybody to come to your place. You learn under Dr. Ashwini's guidance. We teach you, you implement. All of this happens at home itself. This is understood. Can I proceed? All right, perfect. Now, in terms of the process, ye dhyan se suniyega. The first step is the moment you enroll with us, you are given a detailed history form, which has a lot of questions, and we are asking questions from the past generations. We are asking questions, mother's health at the time of birth, during pregnancy, and post that. We are taking a lot of information about the child's symptoms, parameters, and so on. With all of those information pieces in place, basis that and a bunch of videos and whatever you need to share about your child's condition, we study all that. We take about 2 to 3 working days. Basis that we help you understand what specific kind of tests are required for your child. Okay, so वो tests हम आप लोगों को बताते हैं. Basis that once the results are in place, we do a detailed root cause analysis, and there is a 20 to 25 page report prepared about your child, which helps you understand what are the conditions, what are the resolutions, what are the strategies, and what potential time it would take for us to reach where. So your treatment protocol is devised, and you are helped understand and implement those strategies. तो ये सारी चीजें आप लोगों को बताई जाती. Is this understood? Can I proceed? All right, perfect. Now to talk about the tests. There are 3 categories of potential tests which could be recommended for everyone. It is different, first of all. And therefore, cost of test is not included in the package ताकि आपको खर्चा कम पड़े. इसीलिए, we charge only for services. Any which way, this is for the companies who do this testing. So the first test is the one which is mentioned, second, gut dysbiosis. Okay, so mostly this is required. In fact, this is mandatorily required for everyone. Okay, so this is a kit-oriented test. So whichever part of the world you are in, we send you a kit in which you have to draw a couple of drops of blood, just like how people do it for diabetes. जैसे diabetes के लिए सुई चुभू के 2 drop blood कागज पे डालते हैं, बस वही करना है, and 2 drops of urine. You let it dry, and a reverse courier guy comes and picks up that sample and shares with the lab based out of Navi Mumbai. The name of the lab is Preventine. Okay, they do not directly collect samples, so we will assist you in that. The cost of this test is 4,000 rupees. The objective of this test is test se pata chalta hai if you have infections, what kind, leaky gut it is there to what extent. It also helps us understand whether nutrition is reaching the brain level, cellular nutrition is happening or not. It helps us understand about detox pathways. It also helps us understand about mitochondrial health to some extent. Okay, all of this is understood through just one test. Okay, then the second test is blood test. This is to understand about organ functioning, hormones, enzymes, nutrition at the blood level, some of the inflammatory markers, LFT, KFT type cheeseं, and so on. Depending upon which child requires what, some of these tests in different variations could be suggested to you. Now, these are commoditized tests. We do have a lab partner to assist you for home sample collection and all that. But if you want, you can get it done on your own as well. So if you are in a remote area, outside country, that, we have all the facilities to assist you. The third test, which is recommended to a few people, now cost of this test, blood test, ranges between 2 to 4,000 rupees. Okay. The third test is hair mineral sample analysis. This is a hair and nail sample oriented test. इसके लिए भी आपको courier भेजना होता है. Now, this helps us understand about heavy metal toxicity and mineral imbalances. It can be done by, let's say, ThyroCare in the country, which is relatively cheaper. We do not get that level of information. So therefore, we recommend a lab based out of Poland. The cost of that test is 7,600 rupees. Okay, so basic. Now this test, hair mineral, just because of cost, is not suggested to all the parents. It is not suggested to more than 10-15% parents. So usually or typically, no. So gut dysbiosis test, Bindu, is not available locally. It is done by only 2-3 labs in the entire country. Hair mineral sample analysis is done very rarely. In India, it is done by ThyroCare. So you can contact them. But we do not recommend that test because of a limited amount of information. So we have to send it outside the country. Okay. And the third test is commoditized. It can be done by anyone. It can be done locally. Okay. So that is it. So is the test part understood very clearly? Yes or no? Can I proceed? All right. Basis this, our treatment is focused on dietary changes, bunch of lifestyle changes, supplements, And in terms of treatment for infection, there could be homeopathy or allopathy. But the most important part is, जैसे जैसे बच्चा improve होता है, as and when the child is improving, there are iterations which are required. There is continuous tracking and monitoring which is required, because the treatment is faster than usually what you would realize with, let's say, therapies or others. So because it is faster, the changes have to be observed and changes have to be implemented in terms of whatever our strategies are. तो वो tracking वगैरह सब इसी में रहती है शामिल. So the advisories, the consultations, they are all one-to-one. We also have a WhatsApp group that we create for people who enroll into the program with all the parents in it and all the treating staff, including Dr. Ashwini in it, for regular communication or education or community education के sessions separately आपके होते रहते हैं. Poonam, I'm sure you won't understand this, but yes, it is required. People always say, go back, and all that nonsense. So in terms of educational part, there are 8 sessions that we conduct in a 3-month-long program, which is what we are suggesting. So in this, there are weekly sessions in the first month and bi-weekly sessions in month 2 and month 3. माने हफ्ते में एक बार और 2 हफ्ते में एक बार दूसरे और तीसरे महीने में. All right, so all of these sessions are live. All of these sessions are taken by Dr. Ashwini, which is also when you interact with Dr. Ashwini. And all of these sessions are recorded. All of these sessions happen at 7 p.m. in the evening, and you do keep the recording for a prolonged period. Okay, so is this understood? So far, any questions? I'm opening up a poll for all of you guys. Please make sure that all of you do respond to the polls. We'll open up for Q&A very, very soon. So make sure that you raise your hands, because we'll try to pick up a sequence in which the hands are raised, and that is how we'll try to answer in an organized fashion. So try to adjust for that. Now the last part remaining is the prizes. So, so the price for this 3 month of services, it does not include the testing cost, by the way. So it is 16,000 rupees, which includes your dietary support, your consultative support, your educational sessions, your internal therapies, your dietitian support, your WhatsApp group-based support, your individualized phone number-based support, and all of the other things that you may require, your guidance in every possible way. So all of this included is the cost, which is 16,000 rupees, applicable for not just next 2, but the next 3 days. Otherwise, the full program cost is 20,000 rupees for 3 months. Okay, so if you want to go for the first month and 1 month, we have that possibility, that is 8,000 rupees again for the next 3 days. But in that case, if you want to go for the next 2 months after that, the cost would be 12,000 for the next 2 months. So 8 plus 12 at a full program price. You can also join this program for educational purposes only, in which you would get a group level support plus the access to all these educational sessions. So that cost is 7,000 rupees. For people who are for learning purposes or who do not have major issues with their children, you can potentially consider the educational program as well. The first session is going to happen on 11th of next month. However, the treatment begins as soon as you join. So our request is, if your questions are answered, you're satisfied, go ahead and enroll. Your treatment would begin immediately. Nobody has to wait for that particular date. Okay. So the details to enroll and so on would be shared with you in the WhatsApp group. So now we'll open up for all the questions. So please make sure that you raise your hands and all that. All right.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead, Pradeep.
यस सर. सो सर, मेरे बेटे को लास्ट 5 से 6 साल हो गया है, उसको पॉटी होल्ड बहुत करता है. बीच में उसको कॉन्स्टिपेशंस हुआ, तो फिर हमने उसको स्मूथ और मूव आउट वगैरह दिया. तो अब कॉन्स्टिपेशंस तो नहीं है, बट फिर भी बहुत ज्यादा होल्ड करता है, मतलब 3-3, 4-4 दिन तक होल्ड करके रखता है. और स्पेशली आउटसाइड टॉयलेट वो यूज नहीं करना चाहता। तो सर बहुत परेशान है इस प्रॉब्लम से, कैसे रिजॉल्व करें? सोशल स्टोरी, रीइंफोर्स सब कुछ कर लिया, डाइट भी जितना मैं कर पा रही हूँ, बट कुछ सोल्यूशन नहीं मिल रहा सर। तो क्या प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है?
डॉक्टर अश्विनी?
तो वेरी अनलाइकली कि वो बिहेवियरली ही होल्ड कर रहा है, हो सकता है उनको पेन होता होगा। ऑफ कोर्स आउटसाइड टॉयलेट कैन बिकम अ प्रॉब्लम, दैट इज आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड, लेकिन देयर
बट
माइट बी मिसिंग कंपोनेंट्स जो अभी फिक्स नहीं हुआ है। इन्फेक्शंस है, प्रोबायोटिक्स हैं, मोटिलिटी का प्रॉब्लम है। So different things should be looked upon and should be fixed. I'm sure that will get better.
so in this program, can this be taken care? Like it will be test whatever required can be done or such things?
Yes, yes, sir. We will do whatever necessary to be done.
Yeah, because we tried last 5 years because he's now 9 year old. So last 5 years we are trying for many GI doctors and all. We did the many tests and all, but still we did not like able to solve this.
I can tell you what we do is very deep, very, very elaborate. Most of the things that we do, most of the time you will not see people doing it. You doesn't matter which GI doctor you go, just to
Okay. Okay.
tell you that we are treating some of the GI doctors themselves.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Richie, please go ahead. Ask your question. Please, everyone who has a question, please try and raise your hands. Raman, we have added your name, so don't worry. Richie D, are you there? Okay. Mr. Davik, please go ahead. Mr. Davik Joshi? I hope I'm audible. Mamta,
Can I say something? Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, I'm
Hello,
giving.
sir.
let's be
hello.
in the sequence, ma'am. Davik, please go ahead.
Yes.
Your name is there,
Yeah.
Raman.
दैविक जोशी या
go ahead there.
सर, मेरा बच्चा प्री मैच्योर बर्थ हुआ था 7 महीने में। 3 महीने तक वो सब ठीक चल रहा था, 6 महीने तक। 6 महीने के बाद उसमें कुछ डिले डेवलपमेंट जैसा लगा। फिर हमने इनका सब चेकअप करवाया, फिर ऐसा मालूम चला कि उसको कुछ प्रीनेटल हेमरेज हुआ था। उसकी वजह से उसका डेवलपमेंट में काफी सारे इशू है, स्पीच भी काफी कम है, बॉडी मूवमेंट में थोड़ा इशू है, मतलब बहुत सारे डेवलपमेंट के इशू चल रहे हैं उसके साथ। हमारे साथ समझ पा रहा है पर वो आगे उसको फॉरवर्ड नहीं कर पा रहा। तो न्यूरॉन के डॉक्टर, मतलब न्यूरो के डॉक्टर बोलते हैं कि जो पार्ट डैमेज हुआ उसमें कुछ रिकवरी की चांसेस नहीं है। तो सर क्या आप ऐसा कुछ आपकी थेरेपी या ऐसे होता है?
तो दैविक एक चीज समझने की है, जो अभी भी कन्वेंशनल डॉक्टर कहते रहते हैं कि एक बार नुकसान हो गया तो रिकवर नहीं करता, ऐसा बिल्कुल ही रॉन्ग है। ओके, आपको नेल आता है, बाल आता है, स्किन आता है, लिवर आता है, जीआई ट्रैक आता है, बोन्स आती हैं, ब्रेन भी तो आता है। एवरी 24 hours we get new retinal cells. Okay, this body is constantly remaking, repairing, regenerating. लेकिन हाँ, ये हो सकता है कि बहुत सारा डैमेज कहीं पर अगर है तो उसको पूरा 100% बेहतर ना कर पाए, लेकिन कुछ चीजें तो बेहतर हो ही जाती है, हमेशा होती है। हम क्या कह रहे हैं कि हम कोई बॉडी के अंदर अच्छा इन्वायरमेंट क्रिएट करना है, दैट इज वन। मतलब न्यूट्रिशन इनफ होना चाहिए, इन्फेक्शन नहीं होना चाहिए, टॉक्सिन्स नहीं होना चाहिए, लिवर अच्छा होना चाहिए, थायराइड अच्छा, दोस बेसिक्स। देन recently there are stimulus to the brain repair that is called peptide, वो यूज किए जा सकते हैं। ओके, अगर सब ठीक है तो उसके बियॉन्ड भी जाया जा सकता है। मल्टीपल थिंग, एचबॉट है, ओजोन है, देयर बियॉन्ड थिंग्स आल्सो, बट जस्ट कि हम कोई कह दे कि हम हार मान के बैठ जाएं, आई थिंक दैट इज अनफॉर्चुनेट।
उसके मतलब बाकी ब्लड रिपोर्ट या बाकी सब नॉर्मल है, पर उसमें जो पार्ट में न्यूरॉन की डैमेज हुआ है वो
आई कैन अश्योर यू, अगर किसी ने आपको कहा कि आपके बच्चे के ब्लड रिपोर्ट्स नॉर्मल हैं तो दे डोंट नो हाउ टू रीड देम। ओके, अगर आप 10 टेस्ट करोगे खराबी आएगा, 100 करोगे 10 खराबी आएगा, 1000 रिपोर्ट 1000 डेटा पॉइंट्स रखोगे तो 100 पॉइंट्स गलत आएगा। I can 100% tell you that somebody who has read it, they don't know what they're reading. Okay, ये हो नहीं सकता कि बच्चे में तकलीफ और रिपोर्ट्स नॉर्मल आए, हो नहीं सकता।
ओके,
All right. Proceeding further. Richie, are you there now? Richie D. Okay. Miss Mamta, please go ahead. Mamta Singh.
Hi, sir. Just wanted to ask, is there any specific cause of verbal stims and visual stimming? Anything which we need to be, I mean, which you would be more careful about while doing all this?
Fungal
Treatment?
infections, fungal infection, high dopamine state.
Okay, sir. And I've given orthoflora for 2-3 months, but I spoke to you last time, if you can relate. I told you there was dampness in my house. It has almost dried. During drying also, I guess fungus comes out a lot and it goes into body, and it is in my bedroom itself where my son sleeps. And right now I'm not giving orthoflora for last 1.5 months. So should I restart it at least? I don't think it is harmful, along with binder, of course.
Right. Again, I'm not sure what is this orthoflora, what probiotic species are there. I don't know. Second, again, like I said, just giving a probiotic might not be enough. Just giving a binder might not be enough. Okay.
Yes, sir.
To
Yes,
build
sir.
the immune system.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
Yeah,
fix.
sir. Yeah, so very sorry to interrupt, sir. Orthoflora is antifungal, and it has things like Pau D, Arco, and all. I mean, some natural stuff. And probiotic, I'm giving only S. boulardi until now, and I have given L. reuteri earlier. 2 bottles I've given, and S. boulardi I gave half bottle, and I've also started. I just started kefir today itself.
Don't give kefir. Okay, you can.
Okay, sir.
Flora, you can do Riteri, you can do Boladi. Don't give kefir. Kefir it's very, very unpredictable. You don't even know which species are growing. I know you take some. I have done all of that. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Thank God I talked to you today. I just started. I'll stop it right away.
It can overgrow in the body with kefir.
Okay, sir. Can I give fermented foods otherwise, sir? Other fermented foods? Like, can I ferment the millets?
Until infections are gone, you don't give any fermented food. You ferment and cook and give.
Okay, sir. Got it, sir. Right. And sir, he also has very unclear voice. It became clear in between, but after giving this antibiotic course, which I recently mentioned for ENT infection, after that, plus after starting sodium valproate for 1 episode of fits, his voice is again very unclear, again very whispering and low tone. Otherwise, it was quite normal in between, around 2 months back. Can I do something about that? Or, I mean, can there be some specific reason?
Antibiotic will overgrow fungal infection that can affect. Now, if your child has seizures, very likely heavy metals will be there. You need to work on the heavy metals also.
Yes, there are heavy metals, sir, in HMT, but I did it more than 1 year back, so I should repeat it, no?
Every 3 months.
And okay, sir. Okay. And I gave this SLS water for it. Do you agree with SLS being beneficial?
What is SLS? Is it silica water?
Sir, it is silica. Yes, sir, silica water. Initially, they gave Fiji and then they had SLS. So both were silica water.
Silica can remove aluminium, but if there is lead, if there is mercury, if there is other stuff, how do you remove that?
Yes, sir. Certainly, I have to remove all that also. And should I right now, in my current situation, first get the tests and then start some, treatment for fungus and all? Or can I start treatment and then in the meanwhile, get this? What do you recommend, sir?
There is carpet bombing. There's a precision bombing. You can decide what you want to do. It's always good to be precise.
Right, sir. Right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Right. So again, Richie, if you're there, go ahead. Otherwise, Vijay, please go ahead. Vijay Kumar. Mr. Vijay Kumar, you're there. Okay. Vipin, please go ahead. Vipin Rai.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Dr. Aswini, sir, question to you. कि अभी जैसे बच्चा मेरा, जैसे मैंने स्टार्टिंग में बोला था कि 2.5 साल का था, उसके बाद रिग्रेशन स्टार्ट हुआ, तो वो क्या पहले मतलब ऐसे ही गिर जाता था, मतलब ऐसा ही फेल डाउन, तो हमको लगता था हो सकता है कुछ उसको कुछ परेशानी हुई हो या कुछ पैर उलझ गए हो। तो उसका बाद में ऐसा हुआ कि पता चला कि इसका जो मोटर का ये कोऑर्डिनेशन है, इसका इशू है इसका। तो अभी तो थेरेपी चल रही है, ओटी वगैरह, तो काफी इम्प्रूवमेंट है। वो बैठ नहीं पाता था बच्चा मेरा, जबकि वो मतलब बॉडी से तो काफी फिट लगता है, काफी मतलब अच्छा है, लेकिन ये सब उसको तकलीफ थी। और देन और जो स्टार्टिंग में आई मीन उसको एनआईसीयू में एडमिट किया था जब आई मीन बर्थ के टाइम पे, तो काफी एंटीबायोटिक्स चली थी बिकॉज ही हैड इन्फेक्शंस। तो ये सब चीजें हैं, अभी तो इम्प्रूवमेंट है, बट वो जो लॉस्ट हो जाता है, जो अपने अपने दिमाग में रहता है, बाकी हर चीजें कमांड फॉलो करता है। जो खाना भी तो कॉन्स्टिपेशन उसको था 1 ईयर बैक, काफी ज्यादा था, और काफी पॉटी में काफी स्मेल थी, बट अभी तो ठीक है। अभी एवरी सेम डे और अल्टरनेट डे मतलब है, उसको परेशानी नहीं है अभी कॉन्स्टिपेशन की। और मतलब पिकी ईटर जैसा नहीं है, और स्लीपिंग भी, आई मीन
क्वेश्चन
स्लीप।
क्या है सर, प्लीज क्वेश्चन बता दीजिए ना,
तो
लॉट मैनी
सर
पीपल
मैं
हैव टू
मैं
आंसर।
मैं पूछना चाह रहा था सर आपसे कि जैसे अभी जो ये डिस्टरबेंस है उसको, कि मतलब अपने वर्ल्ड में रहना चाहता है या आई कांटेक्ट थोड़ा कम करता है, तो ये सारी चीजें क्या मतलब जो डैमेज हो चुका है, विल इट बी रिकवर्ड, और मतलब
100%
व्हाट यू सजेस्ट सर?
100% रिकवर होगा।
Okay, sir. Okay. So, I mean, our therapy should be started, and we are following this Dr. Nemchek protocol.
Probably you have not even heard me if you are saying therapies will help you. Okay, I'm saying it is the internal problem. You need to fix the internal problem.
जी जी
अंदर की प्रॉब्लम थेरेपी से कैसे सॉल्व होगी यार? अब प्लीज सुन
जी
लो मेरी बात, हम कितना मेहनत करके मैं घंटों से बोल रहा हूँ,
जी जी।
प्लीज शो सम रिस्पेक्ट टू दैट।
नहीं नहीं नहीं, आई सर, आई रिस्पेक्ट यू, दैट्स व्हाई ऑलरेडी हमारा ये चल रहा है, हमें थेरेपी चल रही है, डॉक्टर नेमचेक के प्रोटोकॉल चल रहे हैं, बट वी रिस्पेक्ट यू, वी आर हैविंग
अभी
ट्रस्ट इन
अभी
फंक्शनल
अभी
मेडिसिन।
जैसे नेमचेक है, नेमचेक इज अ वेरी ब्रॉड अनपर्सनलाइज्ड प्लान,
जी
है ना?
जी सर।
उसमें आप इनुलिन दे दो, थोड़ा रिफिक्समिन दे दो, थोड़ा ये दे दो, लेकिन टेस्ट करो, जानो 50 चीजें खराब है कि 100 चीजें खराब है कि
जी
5
जी
चीजें खराब है ना? उसको
जी
फिक्स करो
जी जी।
rather
वी
than
वी हैव ट्रस्ट सर, जस्ट थॉट ऑफ आस्किंग दिस।
बिल्कुल आपका बच्चा बेहतर हो सकता है, वी डू द राइट काइंड ऑफ वर्क। ओके
जी जी, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
विजय।
Yeah. Richie, if you're there, please go ahead. Otherwise, Miss Sumaya, please go ahead. Sumaya Mazhar.
Sir, hello. Hi, sir. My name is Sumaya. I have a daughter, 4-year-old. She is diagnosed on the autism spectrum. Sir, for last 1.5 years, she gets patches of alopecia areata, which heal on their own, and they keep coming back in different areas. Do you think it's connected to her autism?
It's fungal infection is connected to alopecia. Fungal infection is connected to the autism. The missing the
Sir, they say it's alopecia areata. There's no fungal infection. They're saying we got tests done, and
madam, when I'm saying you go to any dermatologist, okay, any dermatologist, you ask them, can you fix it? They said no. When I'm saying something, I know what I'm saying. With certainty, I'm saying. So sometimes somebody takes one sample and it is not found different markers of the different species of the fungal infection. How many are tested, where it is tested, how it is tested. Okay, if alopecia is there, if she might be having bloating, she might have some eczema also. She might be itching her body. So very, very certain that fungal is one of the connecting points.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right, Richie again, if you're there. Otherwise, Sakshi ji, please go ahead. Sakshi Sharma.
Very good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening, madam.
Sir, it's been 20 days. I have started the treatment. Sir, there are few questions regarding red light therapy, sir. In which position child is supposed to be when I have to give him red light?
Clothing is off. It can be on the stomach. It can be on the back. It can be on the head. Anywhere.
Okay, not all over the body. Huh?
That's also fine. That's also fine. No problem. It just has to go into the body, and it will have a systemic effect. Where you put doesn't matter, but full body will get benefited.
And we are supposed to switch on the light, or a light should be off?
No, that is not a problem. Whether off on, it should be done in the daytime anyway.
Okay. And second thing, sir, can he have coconut curd, homemade coconut curd?
No fermented foods. No fermented foods.
Okay. Right, sir. And sir, one thing, one ragi chips I ordered from your Instagram page. I saw it from there. So are they, would you advise that? Ragi chips and quinoa chips? If we give once in a week or 15 days.
I don't know. We don't have that on too, but I don't know where it has come from. But anyway, if the material it is made and the oil it is fried is okay, then in a little quantity, it's just okay.
And sir, homemade besan laddu. I'm very sorry, I'm asking.
Fair. Besan laddu is okay, but don't have a lot of sugars. Do it with stevia and don't make it very sweet.
Okay, so we can use stevia, right? Not jaggery, sir? Not jaggery?
No.
Okay, so how often I can give him? Once in 15 days is okay?
Okay.
I'm sorry for asking such stupid questions, but he's fond of sweets.
It's okay, Sakshi. It's more you know, better answers you have for your job you can do for your child.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Sakshi.
Great. Mr. Veerbhadra, please go ahead. Mr. Veerbhadra, you had a question?
Yes, sir. I had a question. I just wrote into the program. I was just wondering, when we send the form out to you, how soon we get this, the other forms from you where you ask the detailed history?
So it takes 2 or 3 working days to analyze the form and suggest you on test and next steps. But the moment you enroll, etc., and fill up the form, within a day, a team member would call you and help you with onboarding process and the steps and all that, provide you guidance, help you begin.
All right. Okay, sir.
All right. So the next person is Miss Sumaya. Miss Sumaya, please go ahead.
Sir, I already asked my question.
Okay, sorry. Miss Nisha, please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Am I audible? This is Nisha here.
Yes.
Okay. Sir, I actually wanted to understand the treatment that you're from the perspective that is it more diet based? Like I'm asking this because a lady just spoke and asked a lot of questions what a child can eat and not eat, because this is a primary issue that we face on a day-to-day basis, that what exactly can we give our child to eat, because our staple food is the Indian staple food, a lot of things like you said, we cannot give fermented food, which is again a part of a staple diet, Indian staple diet, or anything else. So if you could be a little elaborated about what all is covered in the course, and what all, if if basically what are the mandates that a parent has to look when they enroll in this course, and what is negotiable?
Okay, now first thing you have to understand, okay, disease is not negotiable, and it's not an easy disease. If I'm sitting telling you that this problem can be sorted, it takes a lot of commitment, it takes a lot of effort. Okay, so around the globe, you go to speak to doctors, nobody will tell you this problem can be sorted. That's the seriousness of this problem. Now, gluten, dairy, refined oils, refined rice is no. Now, what you can feed? You want to make rotis, you can use gluten-free atta. These rotis will be as tastier as gluten. You want to give rice, you can use brown rice. You can use millets. Okay, cooking oil to be done, coconut or ghee. no fermented foods if fungal infections are found in the test. Now, diabetes is growing, and I can say it is my, I have this tradition that I have to eat sugars because I'm from Bengal. I should be eat, mithai I must eat because I'm from Bengal. Doesn't matter, I have diabetes. That's my choice, right? I want to live and die with diabetes is my choice. I want to get out of that. I have to get out of the, whatever I'm born with. Really, as the time changes, we have to change ourselves.
Okay, sir. So the reason why I was so specifically asking about the diet is because, like fermented food and a lot of other things. But so sometimes, like you may know, a lot of stuffs may not be easily available, or they may not fit into the budget, sir.
Nisha, see, I'm telling you honestly, see, and if there was a simpler solution, okay, if there was a simpler solution, first of all, a lot of our children should not be suffering and continuing their life with the suffer. Unfortunately, that should not have happened. My life would also have been easy. My team's life would also have been easy if I had a simpler answer. Such a difficult situation this is, difficult disease this is, it needs a lot of effort. Okay. And again, I'm telling you, if you are a middle class family or lower middle class family also, if you're committed, money will not be a constraint. Okay. But then I'm saying, please don't bring this money factor, because if your child is able, is capable, then he finishes his or her any degree, they will make much more money than you spend today. But then if they don't become capable, your life and their life, so we really have to think a little beyond today's situation. What is going to happen tomorrow is why we are here all of us.
Great.
Okay.
Any further questions, ma'am?
No.
Fair enough. Mr. Deepak, please go ahead. You had a question, Deepak Daswani.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So my kid, good evening to you. My kid is diagnosed with ADHD and learning disabilities, dysgraphia, dyslexia. Currently, he's on risperidone, that's methylphenidone and sodium valproate. All the lab tests have been run, and nothing really is, abnormal as far as lab tests are concerned. My query is that your treatment protocol, would it give a permanent resolution to ADHD, and what will be the time frame I'm looking at?
So Deepak, let's understand this, okay? ADHD is a high dopamine state where the enzyme which breaks down dopamine is altered by the infection. Now, when do we grow infection? When the immune system is downregulated. When is the immune system downregulated? When you don't feed yourself well, or you are under stress, or you are under EMF, etc., etc. Our protocol will certainly resolve this problem. Depending on the severity. Okay, I'm coming, Deepak. Allow me time.
Yeah, sure.
You have to have patience with this. Okay, this is not a simple one pill answer.
Absolutely.
Now, how much time it will take depends on how much is the problem. How do I know how much is the problem? I have tested. If the level of lead in the blood is 20, it will be easier to eliminate. If level of lead is 200, it will take 10 times more. It's much difficult. So like that, depending on the severity of the problem, the time frame will be different. Now, whether it's a permanent solution that never anything will happen to the body, nothing is permanent in this body. You become healthy, you maintain your health. Now, if you bring back that lead into the body, the problem can come back.
Okay.
You maintain.
So my question is that to find the source, or to find the source of this problem, we have to do multi-pronged testing, like you're talking about lead, so that's heavy metals. Then there is something like the nutritional factors, like anemia or some other thyroid hormone imbalance. So there is a multi-pronged type of testing which we have to do, maybe autoimmune factors or maybe some neurological enzymes. So what I'm saying is, what is the limit to these tests? How many tests would we have to do? And would it be included in your
We
protocol?
have,
Because you're
yeah,
charging
so
an X. And
Deepak,
at
we
the end
have,
of the day, would we decide on the basis of what positive results these tests bring up or throw out, or maybe if there is some positive result of any of these tests, then you would probably have to treat that particular organ system. So how would that be? Actually treating the cause of that particular
Deepak, you would have to
high
hold
value of the
yourself
test.
a
If it's a
little bit.
thyroid, we treat the thyroid.
No. Okay,
Deepak,
okay. Now,
the answer to your
seems like
question is this slide.
Ayush, let me answer. Seems like Deepak might be from medical fraternity. Okay, when you
Yeah, I am a pathologist.
Right. I get that your language. Now, when as a conventional medical doctor, you are treating thyroid, you want to give only thyroxine. There's nothing beyond that medical system understands. Okay. Now, thyroid is a metabolic dysfunction. Mitochondria are unwell because of that. Thyroid production is low, or autoimmunity is there because of that. Thyroid production is low. I will not give a thyroid pill. Rather, again, I fix the problem. Okay. So if liver is decongested, liver enzymes are high, I have to improve liver. So it's all about bringing the balance. Now, how much test and all that? We will do a organic acid test, we'll do heavy metals, we'll do organ function, we'll do nutrients, we'll do autoimmune markers, so that we know what metabolic function. So we know what we are dealing with, and accordingly things will be done.
Okay. And should I continue with this with the drugs you're taking currently?
So, for example, let's say risperidone is more of a suppressant. Okay. Now, as we fix the problem, the need of the drug will come down. As the need of the drug will come down, we can slowly wean it off. But we will not say immediately you wean it off. Until we fix it, because the problem is there, any drug is a symptomatic, short-term symptomatic drug is okay to use. But when a drug becomes a lifetime, that becomes a problem.
Right. So are you, I mean, I know it's very premature to ask this, but are you sort of claiming or giving a guarantee that based on your protocol of treatment, which a lot of people would be following now, or even they're going to enter into your program, are you sort of guaranteeing that there would be a cure? I mean, we are all looking at a cure, right? We're not looking at a symptomatic treatment. So are you definitely...
Dr. Deepak, I never mentioned any symptomatic treatment, first of all.
No, I mean a cure. I'm categorically asking you about a cure.
Right. Now, if you follow it to the core, 90% of the chances that the diagnosis will go away. Okay. But generally, in the conventional system, cure means it never comes back. But I told you, you maintain it. You eat well, you drink well, you get a lot of sunlight, whatever the right requirement put by this nature, you follow that, the problem will not come back. But if you mess around, it can come back.
All right. And I'm sorry, just one last question. So this protocol of yours is a recurrent sort of a thing, or it's like once in a, it's just a one-time expense and then it's like support for later on, or is it program which you have to...
We start with a 3-month program. 3 months are not enough to resolve the problem. Enough for you to see the problem severity and quantity of the problem has reduced. Things are getting better. Okay. Now, again, depending on the severity, somebody might take 9 months, somebody might take 1 year, somebody might take 1.5 years. Depends on how deep is the problem.
So you would be having a recurrent charge for that? I mean, you would, if it's
we do have a
taking 9 months, so you would be charging appropriately. It would be a continuing charge for that.
Deepak, can I speak?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
So 3 months is 16,000 and subsequent continuity plans are at 10,000 rupees for the subsequent 3 months.
So am I to understand it's 10,000 per every 3 months?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Okay. I got that. Okay.
All right.
So yeah. Thank you so much. I mean, for answering my queries, and I'll definitely
So
give it a
in the
thought
interest
to
of time, let's proceed further. Dr. Deepak the team will connect with you individually.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I will definitely connect with you.
Sure.
Thank you, Dr. Deepak.
So person with the name Samsung S908. S908E. Samsung S908. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. My name was showing with my device name. I don't know why is
Go
that.
ahead. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Actually, I'm very impressed with Dr. Garg, and like I totally believe whatever he said was right. And I'm looking forward to start the program, but I'm not sure that how much time Dr. Garg will give to such a online program, because if there is something where we can just meet him as well, will be great. कुछ offline वाला program भी है आप लोगों का, और only need to go through this online only?
It's only online, sir, because it's a long journey. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes time. So I'll
Yes, sir.
two components, like I said. One is purely based on the data from testing and from the problems. We have to devise a program. Ki unko what medicine, what supplement, what detoxification, what probiotic, purely based on the data and the problem the child is going through. That is one. Second major chunk of the solution is the education to the, just I'm sitting and doing this. So in the 3-month program, we'll do enough education about each aspect of the problem and the solution. So as a parent, you become more equipped. You become more equipped to take the right decisions, and you understand deeply and thoroughly what is the problem and what is the way forward, and what we can expect, and if anything else, what we can do, etc., etc. So enough will be done from our side to ensure that it is taken care. But yes, parent participation is very, very important.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
The person with the name Samsung S908, Sai Shri or something, I think. Sorry, Samsung M146B. Sai Shri, I suppose. You have been quite inquisitive, edgy, in fact. All right, so we'll revisit. Miss Veeni, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, good evening, sir. So my daughter, she's 3.5 years old, and she was diagnosed with mild ASD. So right now, the current thing that I've been doing is I've been giving her completely homemade food, plus homeopathy treatment that I've been undertaking for the last, say, around 3 months now. And of course, therapies that I've been doing it on my own, because considering, a mother knows best how a child can progress. I personally feel that. So what I wanted to know was, I was earlier giving her a supplement, Aqua Omega, which is the veg form of, it has EPA and DHA drops. Should I be continuing with that, or because I stopped it, shall I continue with it, or should I not continue with it? And the treatment that you would be giving, Rabia, does it go well with homeopathic treatment also?
Right. So let's understand homeopathy first. Okay. So that less confusion is there.
Okay.
A lot of doctors who are homeopaths or common people don't understand homeopathy. Even modern doctors, we don't even understand at all.
Okay.
Now, most of the homeopathy is a frequency medicine, which means if you take a frequency of onions for the allergies, now there is no onion in the medicine. It's only a frequency of the onion, scalar energy of the onion. Now, That's an information through homeopathy you give to the body to make certain actions.
All right.
If physically omega is missing, protein is missing, now you give information to detox certain elements from the body, but liver is congested, probably not working. But if you give a signal to the body or information through homeopathy to repair, regenerate certain parts of the body and the brain, but protein and omega is not there, it will not happen.
Okay.
So certainly physical nutrition has to be there for homeopathy to work also.
Okay.
So yes, you would need omegas and proteins and whatever missing in the body as per the test, whatever is missing, so that the process can be much faster and a child can get much faster better. But yes, they can go together. Until only challenge that happens, sometimes it becomes overwhelming to the body. So only thing that we have to ensure that it's not overwhelming. We're only doing as much the body can handle.
All right. So shall I continue with Aqua Omega, the EPA DHA drops? Should I give her that?
You can give EPA and DHA. I don't know what is Aqua, which brand and what is the quality. EPA, DHA, certainly you can give.
Okay. All right, sir. That was my only question because I've just started giving her homeopathic treatment. It's been like 3 months, and therapy because since I'm staying in Shimla, so there are limited possibilities of even finding a therapist, let alone other things are there availability. So I'm completely doing it on my own. So yes, that is which is why I wanted to join this program. Considering my only concern was that because I was giving homeopathy, तो ये simultaneously चलता रहे कि इसके लिए इतना ज़्यादा overburden ना हो जाए, इसकी body इतना adapt ना कर पाए, इसलिए वो मेरा concern था, इसलिए मैंने question किया था.
Like I said, we have to evaluate अगर कुछ चीज कम ज़्यादा करें तो on the when we do personalization as it in one we do it and we see it and how it's working, not working, depend on the we can change. That's no problem.
Okay. And so one more thing, इसका ना 21st September को इसका ना एक और vaccination है, so वो yearly vaccination, should I be getting that? Because I'm very skeptical about vaccinations. It's really getting on my this concern जितना मैंने अभी सुन लिया है, मुझे अब वही skeptical हो रही कि मैं इसको vaccinate करवाऊं भी या नहीं करवाऊं, because इसका yearly vaccination अभी pending था अभी.
कौन सा है वो? Is it flu vaccine? हाँ?
हाँ जी, I think इसका flu vaccine है. I was talking about that only.
All right, let's understand this. After taking flu vaccine, is your child away from the flu? The flu is not happening? Are you?
No, it keeps coming back.
Keeps coming back. Then is it any good? Is it doing any good to your child?
No, I don't think so. Considering in a place like Shimla, where it's cold.
Shimla is not a problem. I was in Norway, much colder than Shimla. It's not about the weather. Body will adapt.
Yes.
But if immune system is weak, that is a problem. Now, if immune system is weak, can vaccine make the immune system better? No. Vaccine is only a trigger point.
All right.
The immune system has to make the body antibodies, whatever. The work has to be done by the immune system, not the vaccine. Vaccine is just a trigger.
All right. Okay.
If immune system is bad, that's a problem. But if immune system is good, you don't need a flu vaccine. Your immune system will take care of the flu. It is meant to be taking care of the flu. We are on this earth for thousands of years and we have been doing okay, fairly okay. Our elder generations were much, much healthier than today's generation. And when you give every year flu vaccines, you still get flu. Then what good we are doing? We really has to put logic into it.
Right. So thank you so much. A much needed one.
Richie and Saishri.
Hi. Yeah. Hi. I'm sorry I missed it.
What?
Am I audible? Yeah. So, sir, actually, my baby is 1 year old. Actually, he initially has severe GERD, because of which he has sleeping issues initially. Now, I don't see any symptoms of acid reflux for him right now, but he still have little bit of sleeping issues. I don't know whether he is okay or not, but all these things about autism, ADHD keeps on coming to things. I'm bothered. So, will it really help my kid right now for this too, so that he will become better?
Now let's understand this. The GERD issue. Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, there's a reflux of the food from the stomach to the esophagus. GERD, correct?
Yeah.
Now, why would it happen? One thing, if the stomach is not able to digest the food in the stomach, which very likely amount of the stomach acid is not enough to digest and the food is not moving down rather than get the reflux. Second is if digestive system has infections which cause bloating, increased intra-abdominal pressure. Okay, the child might be making more gases and all that. That also can put upward pressure. The food content can move to the this thing. Now, if that is a situation, very likely infections are there. Now, if along with that sleeping issues is still persisting, very likely parasite might be there. Okay. Now, certainly we fix the diet, we clean up the parasites, we clean up the infections, we install healthy good guys. GERD will be taken care, digestive system will be taken care, sleep will be taken care. Any possibility of not right happening to the body will be sort of, we can delay that or we can stop that. If our body is unwell, any problem can come back. If body is okay, good, in a good state, we will keep healthy.
So for 1 year old, this will help, right?
Yeah. So basically, again, like I said, certain foods are good for everybody. Certain foods are bad for everybody. Some are able to tolerate. Some are, very, very reactionary to it. But again, bad is always bad.
Thank you so much.
Right. Miss Raman Gill or Mr. Raman Gill. Raman, please go ahead. Raman is not there. Poonam, if you're there, please go ahead. Poonam is not there. Bhavna, Miss Bhavna Bansal, please go ahead. Bhavna, you're not connected to the mic, I think. So please type in your query again, please. Or connect to internet. There would be an option on your mic. Type in that. Mr. Bobby, please go ahead. Bobby Ramani, you had a question, I suppose. Bobby, you have a question? Okay. Miss Nandala, Mr. Nandala. Nandala, you have a question? Okay. Sakshi, please go ahead. Miss Sakshi, please go ahead. Miss Sakshi is not there. Jayanti, please go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, Raman. Yeah, Raman.
My son is 8-year-old now. So the problem is that whenever he going for school, he is taking bath, no. तो उसको पूरी बॉडी में ऑल ओवर इचिंग होना शुरू हो जाता है whenever he woke up he sneezed various times. Previously I got same problem, autoimmunity, and as I type constipation issue was there. अभी रिजॉल्व हो गया है बट सर अभी भी आप पूरी तरीके से नहीं बोल सकते कि पूरा एकदम उसका गट हेल्दी हो गया है एंड उसका ईटिंग पैटर्न भी जस्ट लाइक whenever he is at home, no sir, he asking for eating every time like 30 minutes or 15 minutes. He's not eating mindfully. So autoimmunity is in, I can say, is in our genes. मेरे को भी यही same problem था और उसको वो sneezing and after bath he has a lot.
Yes, autoimmunity is not in the genes. Okay, autoimmunity is because of the poor microbiome. Okay. And yes, certainly a child will get the microbiome from mother, but that does not mean you and your child should have autoimmunity. You can still fix it, both of you. Now, this itching is certainly high histamine state because of again fungal infections. And this over hunger and over multiple meals, not the child is wanting it, or erratic eating is not because of his habits. Again, when infections are high, child will be hungry.
Okay, sir.
Those things can be fixed.
No, sir. I fixed my problem. Actually, previously I was just like early morning when I woke up. So मेरे को भी various time of sneezing was there 9-10 times, and same time same उसी के साथ में हो रहा है sir. Like I have 2 son. बड़े वाले को नहीं है, इसको ये छोटा है, इसको ये problem है. Like sometimes वो चीज नहीं होती है. अभी जैसे आप देख लीजिए 1 week से उसको बहुत हो रहा है. 7-10 times he sneezes and thin watery kind of discharge is there, and
Correct.
itching after having bath, itching is all around his legs and all. Mama मुझे itching हो रहा है, mama मुझे itching हो रहा है. After 10 minutes.
हाँ, very likely जयंती fungal infections है.
Okay,
So
sir.
ठीक है, we can fix it.
So, sir, as you said, fermented food is restricted in fungal infection.
Yeah. Until your fungal is gone, other infections are gone, please don't give fermented foods.
Because, sir, sorry to interrupt, sir. We live in Hyderabad, no, sir. So in South India, you can see very much fermented food like idlis, dosas, and
No. I did
we are
not
usually
say I'm only restricting fermented foods. I'm not saying to restrict fermented to idli dosa is a fermented cooked food.
Okay, cooked food is okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. So like he's asking for pizza. Like I'm making gluten-free pizza at home only. So is it like?
It should not be high carb pizza. That's all. If gluten free, should not be high carb. Its proteins are there.
Sorry, sir. Again, interrupt. So, sir, basically, I'm a pure vegetarian. I'm Jain. So, every time I'm asking to myself that what should I have to give him? Like, we are watching everywhere is, in India, is food industry is like for vegetarians, all about carbohydrate,
I'm
90%
also
carbohydrate.
vegetarian. Don't worry, we'll give you enough options. Which so
No,
many
sir,
answers.
what is the problem? He has this one school lunch is there. He don't want to eat at home only. So at school lunch, like roti and rice should be there, no, sir. This is the problem.
You see, again, if you really want to solve the problem, it would.
Yeah, sir. I have to do work on. Yes, sir.
And
So, sir, another question I have, sir. Supplementation, like omega-3, I'm giving him. So, like Brahmi, like in ginkgo biloba, I don't know the proper name. So,
Ginkgo
they
biloba.
works or not, sir? Yeah, sir. Same.
Right. Certainly do work, but then see, for example, a car has 4 tires. Okay, you only fix 1 tire, or 2 tires, or 3 tires. 1 tire still have.
Yes, sir.
You will
सर regression was after he was 3 years old, no? तो regression हुआ था उसके बाद से he got fits and all previously. So valparin was there, but I fixed that also with omega-3 and all. Now he is okay, everything is okay, but sometimes वही है कि हम पूरी तरीके से उसको ये नहीं बोल सकते he is 8 years old mature boy like
So
some
again, sir,
things.
आपको तो problem तो है ही ना, अभी भी pending.
Yes,
It's not
sir.
completely taken care.
Yes. So basically, with diet supplementation and with this program, we can fix it. As you said, 90% we will fix it.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Richie, are you there? If not, Kratika, please go ahead.
हेलो
Yes, ma'am.
हेलो जी सर, मेरा बेटा अभी फिलहाल 3.5 साल का है और उसको वर्चुअल ऑटिज्म हुआ था ऐसा बताया. लास्ट ईयर से उसका ट्रीटमेंट चल रहा है. अहमदाबाद चाइल्ड न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट से ट्रीटमेंट चल रहा है और उसी टाइम से ऑक्यूपेशनल थेरेपी भी चल रही है. दोनों ही चीजें चल रही है उसकी. हेलो
बताइए मैडम, हम सुन रहा हूँ.
हाँ, थेरेपी और चाइल्ड न्यूरोलॉजिस्ट से ट्रीटमेंट दोनों ही चल रहा है. जैसे कि आपने बताया कि खाने पीने की चीजों का भी बताया आपने, तो हम लोगों को तो कभी उन्होंने ये नहीं बोला कि उनको ग्लूटेन फ्री मतलब आटा नहीं देना है या प्रोटीन चावल टक्कर और ये सब चीजों का.
राइट, तो उसको समझ लेते हैं. वर्चुअल ऑटिज्म के क्या है? एक तो स्क्रीन है. ओके, आई एम लुकिंग एट द विजुअल्स ऑल द टाइम. आई डेवलप लॉट ऑफ मेमोरी. जब मैं ज्यादा मेमोरी डेवलप करता हूँ इन बच्चों में, स्पीच सेंटर सप्रेस हो जाता है. दैट इज वन प्रॉब्लम. लेकिन जो आपका स्क्रीन है, दैट इज emitting ब्लू लाइट. दैट इज किलिंग माय माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया. Then the computer screen is connected to Wi-Fi. This Wi-Fi can affect my immune system. I will grow more infections. तो जो भी प्रॉब्लम है उसको सॉल्व करना पड़ेगा अगर अपने को अपने बच्चे को अच्छा करना है.
मुझे एक चीज और है कि ये वर्चुअल ऑटिज्म ही है कंफर्मली.
मैंने कई बार ये कहा कि हर प्रॉब्लम के पीछे कई सारे कारण हैं. वर्चुअल ऑटिज्म का मतलब है स्क्रीन के ऊपर ज्यादा टाइम लगाना. वो एक कारण है, उसके साथ और कारण भी होंगे.
क्योंकि मेरे साथ में ये हुआ था कि मैं प्रेगनेंसी में मुझे डेंगू हुआ था, फिर स्ट्रेस भी बहुत था, उसका लो बर्थ के समय वेट भी बहुत कम था, मुझे डेंगू भी हुआ था, उसके बाद बहुत सारी चीजें और भी थी। लॉकडाउन में अकेला एनवायरनमेंट भी, लॉकडाउन उसके होते ही लॉकडाउन भी लगा था।
तो मल्टीपल चीजें जो खराब हैं, तो उसको अच्छे से टेस्ट करके जान के समझ के उसको ठीक करना चाहिए। अलग अलग प्रैक्टिशनर अलग अलग काम करते हैं, अलग अलग डेप्थ में काम करते हैं। दैट्स हाउ द नेचर इज। आप एक डॉक्टर कुछ करेगा, दूसरा डॉक्टर कुछ करेगा, तीसरा कुछ करेगा, तो वो अलग अलग डॉक्टर का अलग अलग तरीका है। एट द एंड ऑफ द डे गोल इज कि अपना बच्चा अच्छा हो जाना चाहिए, लेकिन जितना गहराई से काम करेंगे उतना चांसेस ऑफ रिकवरी एंड
अभी काफी फर्क है। जैसे स्टार्ट में जब था तो इसके अंदर हाइपरनेस बहुत ज्यादा थी, भागता रहता था। शुरुआत में जब लास्ट ईयर जब हमने स्टार्ट किया था तब वो भागता ही रहता था, ना कोई किसी तरह का रेस्पॉन्स था, कुछ भी नहीं था। लेकिन उसके बाद से जैसे ही हमने थेरेपी और ट्रीटमेंट चालू किया तो विद इन 1 मंथ ही उसका भागना बंद करना बंद हो गया। फिर वो धीरे धीरे उसने रेस्पॉन्ड करना शुरू करा। अभी फिलहाल वो मतलब सारी चीजें करना शुरू कर दिया है, बोलना भी शुरू कर दिया उसने। उसके जो काम की चीजें होती है वो बोलता है, करता है। 2 3 4 वर्ड के सेंटेंस बोलना शुरू कर दिया उसने। डॉक्टर ने स्कूल के लिए भी बोल दिया, स्कूल रखने के लिए उसको।
तो अच्छा है, रिकवरी हो रहा है, बढ़िया है। तो अगर जो काम किया जा रहा है उससे
बट
आपको
उसका अभी उसका ये है कि जो मतलब कंसंट्रेशन जो कहते हैं ना, वो कंसंट्रेशन का कमी है। तो थेरेपिस्ट का ये कहना है कि थेरेपी से ही सारी चीजें होंगी।
देखिए, आपको अगर फोकस का प्रॉब्लम है, आप इंटरनली अपने आप माइंड को रोक नहीं पा रहे हो, आप कह सकते हो कि मेरे को थेरेपिस्ट चाहिए उसके लिए। तो थोड़ा सा ना हर चीज को लॉजिकली भी सोचना चाहिए भाई। कहीं ना कहीं अगर स्क्रीन से डैमेज हुआ ब्रेन को, तो थेरेपी से कैसे करेक्ट करेंगे? थेरेपी एक सपोर्ट है, तो एक रोल है, लेकिन हम क्या कैसे कह सकते हैं कि वो ठीक कर देगा, वही एक आंसर है। अगर मैं कह दूं कि यही एक आंसर है, मैं कह रहा हूँ कि भाई अगर आपका डॉक्टर अभी जो कर रहे हो वो ठीक है, तो अच्छा हो रहा है, तो अच्छा ही है, क्यों प्रॉब्लम है? अगर हाँ, आपको हमारा बात अच्छा लगा और बेहतर इनहेंस करना है, कुछ चीजें हमने बताई जो नहीं हो रही हैं, उसको करने से स्पीड ऑफ रिकवरी हो जाएगा, तो अच्छा है। लेकिन एनीवेज टाइम लगने वाला है, ऐसा शॉर्ट जर्नी नहीं है, इट्स अ लॉन्ग जर्नी। तो ऐसा सोचना है और काम करते रहना है।
तो सर अपना जो आप जो जैसा बता रहे हैं, तो उसमें क्या चीजें होंगी इसके लिए, वर्चुअल ऑटिज्म के लिए?
राइट, तो बाद में टीम आपसे कनेक्ट करेगा और आपको डिटेल में बता देगा। मैंने जो बताना था काफी हद तक बताया है अभी तक।
सर मुझे वर्चुअल ऑटिज्म के लिए ज्यादा चीजें नहीं पता चली, शायद मैंने थोड़ा लेट भी कनेक्ट किया था।
तो मैंने अभी आपको
हमने शुरुआत में ही मैडम बताया था कि वर्चुअल ऑटिज्म एक तरीके से मार्केटिंग टर्मिनोलॉजी है, माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल डिसफंक्शन है इसके पीछे, और सारे समय हमने माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल डिसफंक्शन की बात करी है। वर्चुअल ऑटिज्म नाम की कोई चीज नहीं होती स्पेसिफिक बीमारी जो मेडिकली डिफाइंड हो, ये एक मार्केटिंग का टर्म मात्र है। और इसका जो मेडिकल अगर उसका इम्प्लीकेशन देखना है या उसका कनेक्शन देखना है तो वो माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल डिसफंक्शन, उसके बारे में लगातार हमने बात करी है। और बाकी डिटेल में आपसे चर्चा करेंगे काउंसलर्स। तो अभी तो लेट भी काफी हो गया और अभी 12-15 लोगों से बात करनी बची है। सो इन द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ टाइम मैं आगे बढ़ना चाहूंगा मैम, विद योर परमिशन आपसे डिटेल में सेपरेटली बात करेंगे।
ठीक है।
मिस जसुमती जी, आपका सवाल था। जसुमती नथानी जी। मिस जसुमती के रिची, यू आर देयर नाउ? के सुनीशा, मिस सुनीशा।
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Hello, sir. So, actually, sorry, I missed the session. I had some office work. So, I've requested for a video. I have one question. My daughter is 5 years. She had been diagnosed with autism at 2 years, roughly. And two problems which are very pronounced in her. First is she's chronically constipated. Means I give her fiber and all, what is required. But, she has this perennial problem. And she has smelly stools as well. and her sleep cycle is also disturbed, in the sense that very light sleeper. If I just get out of the bed, she'll also get up, and she doesn't sleep late night, she sleeps. So these two things are like not getting resolved through therapies. Means thoda kam hota hai, but it's there, like since so many years I'm doing therapy. So I want to start with all this tests with sir, because I've read about sir's protocols and seen his videos. So I would want to start with the testing so that I can then go on with the protocol that you'll suggest. So what should I start with? Like, which test should I run? I mean, how do I go about it?
Right. So Yerosco's team will help you, Sunisha, with that.
I will guide you. The idea is there are 3 different types of tests. Ideally, we want all parents to go for all the tests because it will provide information. So that's your choice. But in order to manage costs and minimize the financial implication, one way to look at it would be that you give us your information so that we can analyze and we can suggest you specific tests which are necessarily required. So maybe you can enroll and give us your information. We can start the process. Otherwise, there is a gut dysbiosis test. That is what is mandatorily required. So that is something, the details would be any which way shared. So you can go ahead with that. So these are the 3 possibilities.
Understood. Because I want to start with the test and come to you with the test results so that you can start with your protocol without time being lost.
Ma'am, your treatment period begins after the test results are there in place and after you have the consultation. That is when day 1 starts any which way. So if you do enroll, then the process that you are hoping to have would be getting commenced.
Sure, sir. And so anything which I can start with, it will help my child, just till the time the test results are made available. Anything
we will be sharing a document of some of the do's and don'ts and all that in general in the group itself. So you can start with that.
Understood, sir. Okay, sir. Thanks. And I mean, if there's a possibility of any offline consultation, whatever fee and stuff, I'll also be interested in that. So
yeah, the team would connect, ma'am. Just mention in the group, the counselors would guide.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Miss Jasumati Nathani ji, are you there? Richie D, Jasumati Nathani. Miss Silu Bhatt, please go ahead, Silu Bhatt.
Yeah, hello. My son is 14 years old. He's got ADHD. And of late, it's like when he was small, he was very, very cheerful and very, very jolly good. He used to have a very good sense of humor and all. But I've seen the time that he has entered the teenhood. So he's very aggressive and angry. And there are times he says he likes seeing violent things and all. So the kind of treatment we are talking about, will it address this behavioral change also? Or for this, we have to see something else? I mean, we have to consult different doctor.
Right. So if Silu, but if the child is otherwise absolutely okay, for example, he's eating healthy, his digestive system is good, he's sleeping well, nutritionally fit, still these problems are happening, probably then we are not the right people. But very likely when a child from a young age gets into their adult this thing, they abuse their body. Okay, they don't eat well, their digestive system is a mess. Okay, now infections in the digestive system can produce certain toxic metabolites which can derange the brain chemistry. Okay, because of that a child become more aggressive, less attentive, all that. Now, if that is the case, second case where abuse the body, not eating well, not sleeping well, etc., then certainly
he eats well, and he's a very healthy person. I mean, he's a kid who likes to eat vegetable, fruit, say whatever I prepare, the millets, besan chila, everything he eats. He's a very, very good food wise, and he used to be very, very jolly kind of a kid. Yes, he had the attention issue, and he also knows that. So, but he was doing well in the school also. But now, of late, ever since he's turned the teenhood, so that problem has produced. And second, my question is, my husband says when he was in school, even he had a very bad handwriting. He was also not very attentive. But I think around when he entered 8th, 9th standard, he started doing very well. So he says maybe even I had ADHD, so even our son has, so he might also do well. So I kind of feel we can keep waiting like that because both are two people.
Right. So that's right. That's right. So now, when your husband was at this age, the environment was much cleaner.
Yes.
There were less of screens and less of radiation. The water was clean. Food was clean.
Yes.
Somebody will sleep at time. Less of tube lights. Lot of right conducive things were there.
Yes.
Today, if you have to be healthy, you have to do 10 more extra things to be healthy.
Yes.
So I think, if he was little hyper earlier also, then problem is persisting. Now, I just mentioned earlier also, if we don't fix the persisting problem in the body, the problem can increase. As the problem would increase, the symptoms and the behavior can become more aggressive.
Yes.
So certainly, in that case, we should be able to help. But then, if it would have regressed and the symptom would have regressed, it should have regressed by now. That's not. What can happen is if we wait too long, underlying problem can further increase and it becomes a little more tougher to bring it
address. Yes. In fact, he doesn't have hyperactivity issue. He has the attention issue. So, he keeps saying, I kind of feel very dreamy in the class, and he just immediately zones out. So
very, very likely he has fungal infections. I tell you one thing, okay?
Okay.
There's something called microbrewery syndrome, which means you eat white rice, you eat bananas, you eat oranges, which are very sugary. The fungus in the body will convert them into alcohol.
Yeah.
And somebody can zone out.
Yeah.
Dreamy. Without drinking alcohol, you feel high.
High, yes.
Like
so
that.
I mean, in fact, my home, since I'm pre-diabetic, so my cooking and all, most of the time we eat brown rice, and the sugar we don't put it in any of their milk or whatever they take. And only time he might be eating white stuff is sometimes if he's eating idli or dosas. That's it. But even the dosas I make out of millet.
Perfect. That's good. That's good. So again, like I said, we really need to test the child, find
Yeah.
out. I'm sure it'll help.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll do it. Yeah. Thank you.
Richie D is gone. Jasumati Nathani, आप हैं तो प्लीज सवाल पूछें. अदरवाइज अनीशा पटेल, प्लीज गो अहेड मैम. मिस अनीशा पटेल. Okay, Chitranjan ji, please go ahead.
Sir, hello. Sir, may I ask a question on behalf of Anisha Patel?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, 1 second, sir. सर उनका क्वेश्चन है कि टू मच सेंसरी प्रॉब्लम है उनके चाइल्ड को, जो है अभी फिलहाल 15 इयर्स का, और हर चीज हटानी पड़ती है. मेल सेंसरी प्रॉब्लम, डिटॉक्स कैसे करें मतलब सेंसरी प्रॉब्लम को?
सेंसरी प्रॉब्लम्स मोस्टली टॉक्सिक बर्डन से होते हैं. वो टॉक्सिक बर्डन कैन बी माइक्रोबियल बाय प्रोडक्ट्स, कुड बी हेवी मेटल्स, कुड बी पेस्टिसाइड्स. तो डिटॉक्स करने के लिए न्यूट्रिशन ठीक करना है, खाना पीना ठीक करना है, इन्फेक्शंस को हटाना है, इलेशन का जरूरत पड़ सकता है. डिपेंड्स ऑन कितना प्रॉब्लम है, उसके हिसाब से प्रोटोकॉल बनेगा, है ना. लेकिन जैसे उसको एलिमिनेट करेंगे स्लोली ग्रेजुअली, चीजें बेहतर होने लग जाएंगी.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
Chitranjan ji, please go ahead.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, actually, my son is 11 months old. वो प्रीमेच्योर बॉर्न हुआ था सर 7 मंथ में, और नीकू में रहा था फॉर 1 मंथ। सिर्फ अप टू 4 मंथ्स तो वो ठीक था, बट आफ्टर दैट 4 मंथ्स में सर उसको रिग्रेशन स्टार्ट हो गया, और उसके बाद थोड़ा थोड़ा 6 मंथ तक उसको सर फिट्स भी थोड़े शुरू हो गए थे। नेक होल्डिंग नहीं, अभी 11 मंथ का है, नेक होल्डिंग नहीं है, और आई कांटेक्ट भी अब चला गया। पहले था, अप टू 4 मंथ्स था, बट उसके बाद अब नहीं हो रहा है। तो सर कितना टाइम, क्या कब तक हो सकता है, ये ठीक होता है क्या है सर, इसके लिए थोड़ा सा।
So चित्रंजन, ठीक है, बच्चा was prematurely born and of course abilities are weak and things are not fully, immune system is not fully developed, but fine, जो हुआ तो वो हुआ था। अभी अपने को एफर्ट डालना चाहिए, उनकी बॉडी को हेल्दी करना चाहिए। अगर करेंगे तो बिल्कुल वो रिकवर करेंगे। इनफैक्ट आई वाज आल्सो प्रीमेच्योरली बोर्न, टुडे आई एम डूइंग फेयरली ओके, नॉट सो बैड। तो बिल्कुल अगर हमको उनका कंडीशंस अच्छा करेंगे, अच्छा खाना पीना करेंगे, अच्छा एनवायरनमेंट भी रखेंगे, लॉट ऑफ सनलाइट देंगे, और ऑफ कोर्स जो भी थोड़ा बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स है टेस्ट के हिसाब से पता चल जाता है। अगर फिट्स हुआ है फॉर एग्जांपल, लेकिन फिट्स हुआ तो इन्फेक्शन और पैरासाइट्स एंड हेवी मेटल्स इज अ बिग प्रॉब्लम, तो टेस्ट करके मालूम चल जाएगा और उसके हिसाब से उसका करेक्शन किया जा सकता है। ओवरऑल नेक होल्डिंग इज अगेन मसल का स्ट्रेंथ कितना है, मसल का स्ट्रेंथ विल डिसाइड ऑन द माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया।
ओके
all that those things can be, we can work on that.
सर टमी टाइम करता है तब नेक होल्ड करता है, बट जब हम उसको उठा के लेते हैं तब वो नेक होल्ड नहीं करता है।
चल ठीक है, कोई मतलब प्रॉब्लम तो है ना।
जी जी सर, वही सर, उसके लिए पहले हमें टेस्ट करा के उसके बाद हम।
नहीं, आप एनरोल कर सकते हैं मैम, तो आपके डिटेल्स पता चलेंगे तो टेस्ट में ज्यादा अच्छा गाइड कर देंगे।
ओके ओके, थैंक यू सर।
जी,
ओके
मिसेस मुस्तफा प्लीज गो अहेड। मिसेस मुस्तफा, ओके। मनीषा जी प्लीज गो अहेड। मनीषा सिंह। Miss Manisha Singh. Okay. Vijay ji, please go ahead. Miss Vijay, Mr. Vijay, you had a question.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, Manisha, please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Doctor, I have a few questions. First one is like I have twin boys. They are 8 years of age now, and they have this thing since birth. Eye contact nahi, bahut zyada rona, and all those symptoms are there. We found out quite late. They turned 3 years old. So I've been attending this workshop, and I think you said something about the time frame was being spoken of, but kya probability hai that they'll be, they can be completely out of it, because it is there since birth. First, that's my first question.
Right. So again, every child is different. Okay. But depending on how big is the problem, how much is the problem, we can certainly make a lot of improvement for certain. Lot of improvement will happen for sure. Now, whether these children will come out of the problem completely or they reach 90% or 80%, only when we start the work, only when we test the child. But from where to today they will certainly improve to a good extent.
Okay, doctor, like they are especially talented. One is very, very intelligent and with excellent memory, and the other one is like really very creative and into drawing and everything. So I mean, I do see the scope in them. And my second question was regarding water. I've been hearing about structured water. So right now they are being given, I mean, we all drink RO water. Regarding RO water, what is the TDS that you recommend? Or RO का water निकाल के उसको हम earthen pot में रख के store करके then we give the kids. Either that or copper. Glass water, I just heard from you that I'm going to start. But RO, copper, इसके लिए आपका क्या कहना है?
Right. Copper plates can certainly help to structure the water, but too much copper can cause ADHD. So you really have to keep a balance of copper and zinc. So too much copper can become a problem. I'm not a big fan of copper.
Okay, so how do we regulate the quantity of water? Like RO water लेकर copper में उसको structure करें for just one glass maybe per day.
Copper, so exactly, I'm saying if copper is already high and using copper water or bottle or a plate to structure, the copper will dissolve in the water, right? The copper can go high and become a problem.
Okay.
So right, that's one. So
Then
RO
TDS,
TDS का मामला जो है, now TDS tells you how many particles are there, but it does not tell you which particles are there.
Right.
This is see, in a normal good quality water up to 200 is good, but then
Yeah.
what is that TDS about? Is it about mercury or a lead? Is it about sodium, potassium, barium, or boron? What is there? How do we know that? So it is important that we clean the water. People living in the cities, I'm certain that the water we get from municipalities crap water. You have to do RO, then remineralize at least with salt, with the Himalayan pink salt.
Okay. And what do you have to say about the alkaline water?
Alkalinity is about the pH.
Yeah.
There are good ways to increase pH, or sasta ways to increase pH. If you have to do, you use a ionizer, that's a good fantastic way. If you use sodium bicarbonate, आप उसमें चूना मिला तो तभी pH बढ़ जाएगा. Is that a good way? No.
Okay. So what is the kind of water that you recommend that we keep under the sun in glass?
Pretty fantastic way where it doesn't cost anything and you can add some salt to it to remineralize the water and good to go.
Okay, so won't the taste change like with the Himalayan salt in it?
नींबू डाल दो ना टेस्ट के लिए, नींबू पानी पिला दो बच्चे को, क्या करेंगे?
Okay.
So just to tell you the severity of the water, okay, how water is important for us, we get caught into this taste and all that. What I'm doing, okay, I'm buying a water which is DDW, deuterium depleted water, 1 liter of water that is costing me 350 rupees. Okay, I take half a liter that, half a liter I put Kangen water into it. I mix the water together, then I put a tube of Somarka. So much I'm doing for my water. Okay. I'm saying sometimes if you have to keep this body healthy, a family, a child healthy, it really has to take tough decisions. It's not, what me and Ayush is doing, it's not about marketing and giving you a fancy, nice, pleasing answers. We're giving hardcore, tough answers so that we can keep ourselves well, our families well.
Okay. Okay. And doctor, one question about the sweet. I do not give them like sugar, but I certainly give them jaggery for, one child has a sweet tooth. So
one big problem with our children, especially ADHD or autism, is a fungal overgrowth. In that case, even banana can become a problem, orange can become a problem, chiku can become, forget about jaggery even worse. So we're not treating diabetes here. We are treating far more complex problem than most of the people understand.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand, doctor, but as a mother, I need to feed them like 3 or 4 times a day. So my question was really to what kind of sweet do I put in the palm jaggery, kishmish, dates, honey? What do I use as sweetener then?
Right. So I'm saying it's not the first time I'm doing this session. It's not the first time we have been working a lot of parents, lot of children. Okay.
We'll guide you in the program. Don't worry. I mean, these are small little nuances. Taste is that there are dietitians other than Dr. Ashwini. There are people to support. Don't worry.
Okay, and for medicine, I'm giving them this one Ayurvedic medicine from Dhanvantari, Neuro Health Rejuvenator. It is Nurayu rich. So would that be okay for you?
See, you have to give me the composition. If things are okay, no problem. If it is helping, it's helping. What is my problem? But sometimes we have seen some Ayurvedic herbs, not everything. Okay, I'm pro Ayurveda, but some of the medicines in the Ayurvedic thing, they have led into it. So we had to really decide. Okay.
Okay, so if they have lead, would they be mentioning it on the?
No, they will never mention it.
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
would you? If it is mentioned, would you eat that?
Yeah, right, right.
So,
So,
like you said, you really has to go very deep into it. You know, we
so
don't.
how do we find out, doctor, what I'm feeding is, I mean, hidden contents में है कि नहीं है?
नहीं, उसमें है कि नहीं है, पर बॉडी में अगर आ गया तो कहीं से आ रहा है ना.
Mm-hmm. But then it's a whole food thing that I'll have to look into. Food and water and everything.
Ma'am, in the interest of time, we'll
Ji.
connect with you and we'll discuss. These are small nuances. We'll discuss. Don't worry. I'm trying to proceed further, please.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
Mr. Vijay, somebody with the couple of Vijay.
Yeah. Hi. Sorry. Whenever you called me at that time, I was here and there. So
please go ahead, sir.
Okay. My question is that my son is turning 3. Actually, till the 1.5 years, everything is fine. Milestone he was achieving. But then after we were giving him OT and speech therapy, at the time also he was doing. But last 2 weeks, he stopped responding to his name, and even his constipation is too much. He just controlled for 2-3 days, and now his speech is little bit is there, but constipation is too much now, and response is very low. Eye contact is there, but when his mom called at that time only he listen, and when I call him at that time he don't respond. But before 2 weeks was everything is absolutely fine. So I don't know what happened. Isn't everything we didn't change any routine? Everything was as going as per how it was going from last 1 year. So sir, I just wanted to know how it just within a 2 week it got changed.
Vijay, I think we give the whole science. How
Yes, sir. I just understood that this whole year. I just from start to end, I'm just listening to you. But yeah.
But then see, body is a dynamic thing. Okay, you have to understand one problem at one part of the system can impact other part of the body. Okay, we really have to look at this body as a collective system. Okay, for example, you are running a car. Even tire puncture can stop the functioning of the car. Now, tire is a small part of the car, but certainly, without that, you will not run it. So similarly, if a child is very, very constipated, he's not throwing the waste out of the body, he's growing more infections, he's not extracting nutrition, it certainly affect the child.
And one more thing, sir. We've just started giving him Nordic fish oil, 5 ml in a day. Nordic fish oil.
That's fine.
That's fine. So okay, so yeah, so that was my question. So I wish to connect to you with maybe the team will connect me and I'll.
Team connect karegi, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sir, question from Mrs. Mustafa: what should be avoided in food when test reports show hepatic detoxification?
Hepatic detoxification. So again, like I said, generic. Like I said,
she's part of the program, sir.
Right. So we have to improve the hepatic detox. We'll do that. Whatever to be avoided, we have already informed. How to improve liver detoxification? We'll give supplements. Sometimes arginine is required. Sometimes NAC is required. Sometimes both of them are required. So whatever is necessarily to be done for that, we'll do that.
Okay. Mr. Premchandar, please go ahead.
Sir, my son is 4 years, 3 months old, sir. Hello, is it audible, sir?
Yeah, yes, Prem.
Sir, he's having more hyperactive, and we identified his this kind of body behaviors since from 2 years. Before that, there is no speech till 2 years. Then after 2 years, after second birthday, he is having some fearing and some sensational problems, sensory issues are there that are slowly we solved from therapies. Then till now 4 years, he started stimming and hyper is same. And my question is there any effect of the food items will affect the child, like chocolates or and
100% more sugars, more stimming, more chocolates, more stimming.
So and the screen also, sir, he sees more like phone and TV. So recently we stopped 1 week back and completely we switched off that TV and phone. Slowly concentrating, but that he is still on that mode only. That he is behaving every within a 1 hour, every half an hour he is going his own mentality, and he is going in own thinking like that, like stimming and like that.
So like I said, Prem, every problem has multiple issues.
Sir.
It looks like a behavior, but this behavior is coming from an imbalance in the body.
Sir.
Until you fix that imbalance, this behavior is hardly going anywhere.
Sir, you told that majorly on the digestive system. So he is having some, like I also observed. I read in some journals also recently. This autism and ADHD will affect morely on the digestive system. If digestive system is good, then only that brain functioning will be good. But now he is 4 years old. So how much brain development will be there? Actual brain development. Now we starting. If you give any
If you start
treatment,
the treatment, Premchand, within a year and a half, a child can be absolutely good.
he will come to normal stage, na sir. After he lost something in 2 years, means that will be recovered or not?
If you're willing to work hard, it will happen.
Okay. So and moreover thing we observed is your IQ level is it is good only, like he likes some sports like archery and but some cricket also he sees like.
That's good. That's good. Like I never said that they are very smart guys. Okay, Ayush has mentioned multiple times.
And he's going to school also with the shadow teacher, but that hyperactive we using this weight jacket and weight blanket and some
These are nuances. Okay, you got the gist of it. That's enough.
Sir, one more doubt is by hyperactivity, can we control with exercises or any your treatment?
I don't know. Really it becomes difficult whether you are
treatment would be taking care of it, sir. Premchandra, don't worry.
Achha. Okay.
Mere behavioral modification are symptomatic, but treatment is required.
Okay. Sir, he is definitely it will be cured or it will be like
Yes. Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll also, if you want, we'll connect with you also. But yes, go ahead, do enroll, start the process, start healing your child.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for such a long time.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I'll still stay for a couple of minutes. So anybody else, any other questions about the program? Any other thing you have, please go ahead.
Sir, can I ask?
Yes.
Sir, can we give prunes to our kids? I recently started 2 prunes a day. Is that okay?
No,
Dried
prunes wishes to avoid in most cases. Very rare cases.
Because of sweetness or any other reason, sir?
Mainly
okay. If he's on 0 sugar for a lot of time, almost 1 year, and he's not very hyperactive. So can I give in early morning and after that take him to park and make him run and all?
A little bit is fine, ma'am, if hyperactivity is limited. But then try and control. The more you do, the better it would be. Only sweetness is the reason.
Right. And he's very constipated, and that was the reason I started it. Is there anything else I can give for constipation?
No, constipation again has to be understood why. Because sometimes, most cases, in these cases, infections would be the reason. So that has to be understood and resolved.
Okay, sir. He was fine until again this recent course of antibiotics,
The
which has
trigger
created a
happens
lot of.
See, basically, we all have some level of infections in our gastrointestinal tract. But then, if it is troubling, it is more than what is required for your child. So
Okay,
these
sir.
are
And
a little sensitive. Yeah.
okay, and what about Mosmi juice?
No,
Okay, not at all. Citrus or again sweetness?
mainly sweetness, but also citrus.
Okay. Any other, which juices are good for kids, sir?
Ma'am, we'll share a document. You'll
Okay, sir.
get some guidance.
Right, sir. Right. Thank you.
Yes.
So one last question, sir. So my child is 5 years old and she's not putting on weight since last 2 years, and she just 12 to 13 kgs, very underweight for her age. She looks like a 3-year-old. So I give her non-veg like chicken.
No, it won't help. No, none of that would help, ma'am. It's not because of lack of quality of food and what you give in food and all that. It's basically infections. So unless that is resolved, microbiome balance would not be initially. If you were there since beginning, then
Yes,
we also mentioned. I mentioned that irrespective of what you consume, it has to get broken into nutrients, absorbed, and travel here. All of that needs to happen. So what food you give is not important in this case.
Understood. Okay, sir. Got it, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, hello, sir. It's Pradeep. So my son is 9-year-old. So he is craving for the food too much. So like if we try to avoid for any sweet or such thing, so he always get too much irritated. So like finding sweets here and there. Like if you go to a shop or anywhere, you try to snatch such things.
Age?
He's 9-year-old.
9 years. Okay. Any hormonal signs? Facial hair, this, that?
No, not such as known as.
Thyroid you have checked?
Sorry?
Thyroid you have checked at any point?
Thyroid, yeah, that is normal. Yeah.
Any autoimmune conditions?
No, that we have not checked.
Usually it is because of hormonal imbalances that aggression and violence increases, or it would be because of infections that serotonin, etc., is not getting efficiently produced. And the hunger and ravenous hunger, it is called. So the ravenous hunger syndrome is primarily because of the infections which are there, which are requiring that whatever their nutrition is. So that causes that, and lack of serotonin and some other enzymes and hormones rather. So because of that, there tends to be a lot of violence. Sometimes the reason could be thyroid or autoimmune condition which is creating this imbalance, but quite often it is because of infections.
So how we can deal with this?
We have the program to help.
Okay. Also, he touched his whenever he get like irritated.
Infections. Doctor talked about this during the session. We'll share the recording also. Infections, itchiness is because of fungal infections mostly, and hypersensitivity is because of imbalances, several imbalances, enzymatic imbalances.
Okay.
So yes, we do treat it.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, sir, just one more thing. Before I get these tests done, can I do these natural stuff which you shared? I'm already part of the program.
You get enrolled into the program, ma'am, so that we can guide you on specific tests. Otherwise,
I'm already enrolled. And just want to know, I mean, can I do these natural things before I get the test
team
done?
would guide you individually also on diet now. You just
Got it.
you would have that FM clinic number. You just mention them; they'll guide you on diet and all that.
Okay. And you mentioned water play also. Is swimming almost as good as water play in a water tub, a big water tub, or swimming is much better?
Yeah, swimming
I
is
mean,
good.
because
Swimming is better because you physically move and it improves mitochondrial health and many other things. So, yes.
Right, sir. And berries must be good, no? Berries is okay to give?
Usually, yes. But again, fungal infection is the only thing which needs to be understood.
Okay, fungal infection is almost always there in our kids. So, shall I avoid until I
And
get the test done?
yes,
Dried blueberries. Okay. And
that would be
coconut
better.
milk. Okay.
Coconut milk is
Coconut
fine.
milk.
That's
And
fine.
coconut milk curd, sir. Curd of coconut
Yeah,
milk.
that's also fine. But fermented stuff, again, because of fungal infections, whatever fermented stuff you give, if you cook the fermented stuff, then that's fine, which obviously can't do in curd. So,
So milk
try and
will be
avoid.
better, I
But if
guess.
you use fermented
Mhm.
curd, whether coconut or otherwise, in some kind of a vegetable that you're brewing or something like that, then that's great.
Okay. And eggs, sir.
Egg allergies could be there. So if they are not there, then yes, obviously good.
Yeah, my son is not allergic. In test, I mean, it's almost normal for egg white and
Yeah.
egg yellow.
Then good.
Okay, right, sir.
Team would
Yeah,
guide, don't worry. So you can
okay.
send a message and they would individually look into your
Okay,
staff
sir.
and all that and guide.
So, your take on stem cell therapy?
You joined in this batch or you joined previously?
No, the other one, just previous one. I paid around, I guess, 15, 20 days back or less than a month back. Sir, your take on stem cell treatment, if you could comment,
No,
please.
nobody should go for stem cell. Even the government has issued notification not to go for it.
Okay, and some new things like suramin and all, people say like some.
I don't know, ma'am.
Right, sir.
I've
And
never heard it.
HBOT, ozone and all should be done at a later stage once gut and everything is healed, or they can be done even
Yes.
earlier also?
Yes, but it may not be required.
Okay. Right,
And
sir.
basically, it's
You decide later on, I mean, if at all
yes,
it is
yes,
required.
and the effects and therefore the benefits of it are not very certain. It's basically hit and try. It may work, it may not work. It may work very good, it may not work at all.
And it may even be harmful in initial stage,
No,
may
it
feel
doesn't.
some wrong
It
thing.
doesn't. HBOT doesn't harm.
Okay, I consulted someone without naming in the group. I would say that doctor suggested once the gut and everything is healed, then vitamin deficiencies and all are done, and then I mean the
Then it would be
heavy
much
metals
more
are
effective.
removed. Then we can go for HBOT.
Then it would
Okay,
be much more effective. Ma'am.
okay, but not harmful if you do it earlier
No,
stage
no,
also. Got it,
it's
sir.
not harmful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Mr. Reddy. Mr. Reddy, you have a question? Premchandra ji? Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions? Okay. Thanks all. Please do share your feedback, your experience, etc. in the group. I hope it was helpful. And do try and start your child's recovery journey and go ahead and benefit. Yeah, Bhavna ji, you missed out. You had a question?
Hello, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Reddy.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, overall, this if I join in the if I take this treatment, you will be given like any medicine or only on
Supplements. If at all any medicine, they are only for infections.
Only overall like
supplements. 99% supplement, 1% medicine for infections.
Supplements
Only
means
for
sir, like only telling which food
plant
we have
extracts.
Sir.
Plant extracts for enzymes, for amino acids, for different kinds of nutrients like that. Proteins.
Okay. It's just like Ayurveda, no, sir?
Naturopathy. More similar to naturopathy.
Naturopathy. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, sorry, one last question. I just read you have answered in chat about Kangen water. You've replied in most cases it is good, but it may turn negative in some cases. Can you please elaborate? Because I've been delaying it for a while and I really want to go for it.
Acidity and alkalinity of the body. That is something which a medical practitioner should advise you on. So you post in the group and they can guide you better. I am not the right person to answer that.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Anybody else? Any other questions? I'm closing the session now. Thank you. Thanks all. We'll share the recording shortly in the group. Yeah, Pradeep.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Do share your feedback in the group. Thank you.